Welcome back to Queen's Place Amera Center here in Liverpool, Nova Scotia. It is Wednesday night action, draw 10 at the 2021 Tim Hortons. Holy smokes, I'm getting ahead of myself, Jeff Hoffer. It is the 2021 Home Hardware Canadian Curling Pre-Trials presented by New Holland. My name is Al Cameron from Curling Canada. My pleasure to be joined tonight by a member of Curling Canada's High Performance National Coaching Staff, Jeff Hoffert. We've got a great game here tonight, Jeff. We got Team Glenn Howard from Penetanguishene, Ontario. Team Tyler Tardy from Langley, British Columbia. Kind of a battle of young and old. And I don't need to tell you who's the old guy and who's the young guy, do I?
Well, yeah, no, not at all. But, I mean, age isn't really important to Glenn Howard, it seems. He just he comes out and competes like it's his first Bonspiel still. The fire is definitely still in him, and this should be a really good game. This team Tardy is good through the lineup. They're young, they're good, they have all the shots, and they're going against one of the best. So this should be a good game.
We'll quickly run through the lineups for both of these teams. Team Glenn Howard from the Penetanguishene Curling Club in Penetanguishene. That was lead Tim March, you just saw throwing. David Mathers is the second for this team. Scott Howard, that is Glenn's son, is the vice skip. And of course, Glenn Howard, 59 years old and still winning a ton of curling games out there on tour, is the skip. Four-time world champion, Glenn Howard. Two-time world champion, both at the junior level, Tyler Tardy. That's his team about to throw. They're from the Langley Curling Club in Langley, British Columbia. The lead is Jordan Tardy. That is Tyler's big brother. The second is Jason Ginter. The vice skip, Sterling Middleton, and Tyler Tardy is the skip. And the coach is Tyler and Jordan's dad, Paul Tardy. So it looks like game on right away as rocks are in play. Team Tardy will have hammer in this first end.
Doesn't look like they're too afraid to mix it up here in the first end. Team Tardy going with the center guard right out of the chute. They're not intimidated by Team Howard, at least not yet. So.
Yeah, it's 10 ends. You know, there's lots of time for them to be intimidated. But Team Tardy certainly coming in as with the better record, 3-0. Team Howard 1-1. They won their game against Team Paul Fleming. Lost a tough game to Team Colton Flash earlier in the event. Team Tyler Tardy, meanwhile, coming in after wins over Team Braden Calvert, Team Sean Grassi, and this morning over Team Pat Ferris from here in Ontario.
You still got it, Scott. A little bit more, Scott. You got it. You gotta go, though. You gotta go. Just there late, eh?
Interesting to note that these teams, these skips anyways, have faced each other 4 times over the years, and Team Glenn Howard has won all 4 of those games, including 2 this season. At the Stu Sells Oakville Tankard in Oakville, Ontario, and then at the New Floors Penticton Curling Classic in Penticton, British Columbia. 7-3 win for Team Howard in Penticton, 6-5 at the Stu Sells. If I'm not mistaken, in talking to Paul Tardy, the coach of Team Tardy, in both of those games, I believe Tyler had the last rock and a chance to win both games and had a couple of misses, and that happens against a team like Glenn Howard. They force you to make good shots.
Well, you're a little nervous. You have a shot to beat one of the legends of the game. It might get in your head a little bit.
Looks hot. Like walk.
Good chance there to set up an angle on both sides for Team Tardy. Just a little deep from Jason Ginter. Letting Team Howard out of it a little bit.
Jeff, I was talking to Glenn before the game and asking him what he thought he was doing in August of 1998, which happens to be when Tyler was born. Glenn figured, well, he was 36 years old at the time. He must have been, considering in those days he was all curling all the time, so he didn't have any vacation in the summer. He was managing that beer store in Middleton, Ontario, probably being run off his feet, he said. So.
Hit the yellow. Yep.
36 years old. That's amazing.
Back four. Scott. Easy. Yeah, easy. Scott, yep. Go. Shot, Davey.
Well done.
Glenn Howard, 59 years old, but that team has had an exceptional start to this season. They've already played 46 games this year.
Wow.
32-14 record this year, and that speaks highly to the way this team is prepared coming into this event. Made the final and actually won the Oakville Fall Classic. Made the semis of the Oakville Labor Day Classic. Semis at the Stu Sells Oakville Tankard. and championship game at the Stu Sells Toronto Tankards. So they've been playing, as well as the final in Penticton. So just a great start to the season for Team Howard.
Well, that's consistency at its best. They're making the playoffs, and not only just the playoffs, but making finals. That's hard to do in curling. There's a lot of good teams that are at each of these tour events. You're not playing against just the average club curlers there. All the top teams are there through the course of the season. So that speaks to some really good play to start this year.
Many of you will remember that Glenn didn't play much at that Tim Hortons Briar in the bubble last season in Calgary. Played a couple ends at best. He had to sit out with a severe rib injury that he suffered snowmobiling. But he says those ribs are back in shape now, so he's still throwing extremely well and calling a great game.
Not quite the result they were looking for there. I think they hit that one on the wrong side. Just over curled on him a little bit and left a couple of Yellowstones in good spots for Team Tardy.
Sterling Middleton now. He and Tyler are the only two members left from the team that won the World Junior Gold Medal right here at Queen's Place Amera Center in 2019. In fact, the gold medal game was right here on Sheet C that they are playing tonight. Difference being that they threw Red Rocks that night.
Yeah, Sterling and Tyler have played together and for a long time on this team, but they were also members of that Youth Olympic team together. So there's a lot of history with these two on the back end.
Mary Fay and Carly Burgess, the other two members of that team.
Hard then.
As they bring this rock in.
Hard, boy. Whoa, leave it higher.
Mentioning Mary Fay's name, Jeff, gives me an early chance to make up for a little oopsie I said last night. I said Mary Fay won the 2014 Canadian Junior Women's Championship here in Liverpool. In fact, she finished third that year. It was Kelsey Rock who won in 2014 right here in Liverpool. And you know that Kelsey Rock team very well, Jeff.
Yeah, that was her first of the two, and that was the first team with Keely Brown, Taylor McDonnell, and Claire Tully on that team. Coached by Amanda Dawn Coder.
Right there.
One of the great coaches in that women's scene in Alberta. Scott Howard now.
Whoa. Tim. Whoa, Tim. Whoa. Get it out of there.
This Howard team does a lot of good things, but that front end sweeping combination of Mathers and March, that's world class, those two.
Yeah, they can make the rock do some things that are just different.
Yeah, they don't get brought up an awful lot when you talk about great sweeping front ends, but they belong in that conversation.
Yeah, definitely. I think the Briar showed us that last year with what they were able to do, and there was lots of sound bites from Wayne thinking he wasn't going to make the shot, and then all of a sudden, oh, okay, good sweep.
Yeah, nice job, boys.
Good. Don't kill it. Line's good.
So the pressure getting applied firmly here by Team Tardy in the first end.
Hard, Jordan.
The situation in the forefoot's looking good, so they're going to guard it.
Hard! Gotta go. Gotta bite center. Go.
See Jason Ginter kind of using that Brad Thiessen backward sweep technique that is beginning to catch on in a lot of places.
It's hard to hit it too thin.
Well, if Brad does it, it might be something to look at.
That's too thick. No, I got enough air on the red. Yeah, okay. Probably jams the red, but that's okay. No.
Important shot here now for Team Howard. Scott's got to find a way to get his team out of trouble.
Yeah, these ones are vital. When the door opens like this, you got to take advantage. That guard wasn't made as good as they wanted, giving the opportunity to go through this port, so he can get his team out of some trouble here.
Hard! Go, Dave! Go! Really hard! Get that thing out of there.
Pretty good.
Very nice.
It opened things up for him. It's slightly scary with Red sitting second and third right now. Tyler's going to have to be careful of where he places this. He's might be one miss away.
A little unfortunate. It did go a lot. I got one.
A couple options here, it looks like here, Jeff.
Yeah, it looks like they're looking at freezing out that back red. They might be a little concerned with the fact that they are sitting sitting shot, but second and third belong to their opposition. So you have to be careful with that one lonely yellow in there. If this isn't in an ideal spot or an untimely miss, then it could lead to a big end. So you're thinking the right way.
Are they playing the double here?
Looks
Or
like they're
just
just
a
going to
hit
play
and
the
roll?
hit and roll off of that red there. They're going to kind of hit this one here and try to roll somewhere in that area. And that'll achieve both things. They'll take away that risk of the big end and hopefully put another one in there and put more pressure on.
Tyler Tardy, one of those southpaws that we love to see in curling.
Whoa, yep, whoa, Jordan!
The good news is I think that double off the outside one jams, so not too bad.
Solid board. Can I get away with solid board? Probably not, eh? You can throw normal too. It's just lines. I know. Okay, so down normal solid board. Right there.
This is another example, this end here, where guards
Down
are so
normal, solid
important.
board.
They're not really given the credit that they deserve. They're actually often missed. It seems like just a simple shot to go throw one up, but they have to be just as precise. If the guard was made earlier in this end, Team Tardy would have still been able to have the foot on the pedal, but since that wasn't made, it allowed Scott to come in and make that good shot on his last, so.
Completely changed the complexion at the end.
100%.
Yeah.
Yep. Hard! Really hard! Whoa. Pretty good.
They were looking for the roll. Nose plays there. They're still sitting two, and now Tyler's going to have to come back and make the roll himself.
Good scrub there by David Mathers to hold that line as well.
Wider track, line side,
Yeah.
crossing out.
Then to roll Daisley a little bit.
You saw Jason Ginter there. He's kind of the newcomer to the team. Jordan played on Tyler's team in the juniors for a few years, obviously, before he aged out. But they brought Jason Ginter in from Alberta from that great U of A Golden Bears program, and obviously he's been a good addition to this team.
Yeah, I think he fits in really well. He's a big culture guy, and I think they like having him, and he likes being a part of that team. So it's a good fit.
Yep. Hard! Hard, do it! Hard, Jordan, go!
So the nose hit will give Glenn Howard a deuce in this first end, and I don't think he'd be displeased with the way that's turned out, especially how it was looking after second rocks.
Well, yeah, if we rewind a few rocks ago, it wasn't looking so good, and that guard wasn't made exactly how they wanted it to. So when those opportunities come up, you have to take advantage, which Team Howard did a great job of doing.
Well, you still love to see that rock lift, eh?
It's pretty classic. When you throw it that good in the end, you can do whatever you want to get there.
Clean it up. Yep. Clean. Yep. Right to it, Dave. Right to it. Attaboy.
It's good enough for two.
Very nice end. So it is Team Howard jumping out into that 2-0 lead, a first end deuce with the hammer. And just a great way to start, and basically manufactured by the back end of Scott and Glenn Howard, father and son, coming through and taking advantage of a bit of a miss from Team Tardy.
Yeah, it was the last three rocks of the end. It was Scott's double to open things up there, and then Glenn making two soft weight hits.
You know, we talk about the standings of these teams coming into this game. We talked about Team Tardy coming in with a 3-0 record. A win here for them would certainly get them into that playoff picture almost for sure. It'd be tough for them to miss almost. Team Howard, though, there's a big difference between 2-1 and 1-2 at this stage in the competition. Confidence-wise, standings-wise, this is a big win opportunity for them to bring back Team Tardy as well.
It's massive, and this is Team Tardy's 4th game and Team Howard's 3rd game, which will matter. But yeah, the confidence you have going forward at 2-1, coming off of 2 wins in a row, it would be yeah, that's different as you go through a competition.
The other unbeaten team in this Pool B, is Team Colton Flash. They're at 3-0 as well. They're idle tonight. They have the bye tonight. But it will be Team Flash playing Team Tardy tomorrow at 4 p.m. Atlantic time. And you got to think that's going to have a significant role to play in who gets out of this pool into those playoffs on Saturday and Sunday.
Well, and the result of tonight's game could actually impact how big that game is. It could become a pretty big one for Team Tardy, or just a battle of unbeaten teams, which would be also a good story.
And we haven't related the story, but Colton Flash did beat Glen Howard earlier in the event, and it was a tough loss for Glen Howard. 8th end really was key in that game. Glen Howard and their team thought that a flash stone was not sitting on the rings, and they kind of played their strategy out, assuming it was not touching. And Glen's last shot was for a blank, and he made it, hit and rolled out. And then they ran the 6-foot bar around, and clank. There was the flash stone was indeed biting, and it was a steal of 1 for Flash in that end to take a 2-point lead after 8 ends. And that can really weigh on the mind of a team, a devastating way to lose that game.
It's a pivotal point in the game. Late like that, it's a 2-shot swing really, or it's the maintaining of the hammer without giving up a point. It's a big deal, and yeah, it's tough when that happens because it's not something that the player did, or it's just a decision that you make, and yeah, you don't like to see that happen.
I was talking to Glenn about it before the game, and he said all 4 members of the team agreed that it was off. They thought it was off. But to their credit, and this speaks to kind of that veteran savvy that a guy like Glen Howard has, they came right back and got a deuce, tied the game, and took Colton Flash down to last rock in the 10th end. So they didn't let it affect them, and I guess that's kind of one of those things that goes along with wisdom and experience like Glen Howard has.
Well, but you got to think in the back of their minds that deuce would have been for the win, or it would have been at least to take the lead at that point. So
Jeff, don't be a negative Nelly. Come on,
trying
now. I'm
my
trying
best.
to say, that was a great comeback there from Glenn, but wow, way to crap all over that.
Wait on me right now.
So game on again here in this second end as Team Tardy tries to come back and put a crooked number on the scoreboard.
Hard play. Hard line now. Hard line, yep. Gotta go. Really gotta go.
Now let's play ball again to start this end. There's no running and hiding from Team Tardy. With the 2-point deficit right now, this was predictable, but even in the first end, there's a lot of moxie with this team.
There's an underused word too, by the way. I like moxie.
It's a good one.
Throw that right in there. Team Tardy, by the way, they're off to a, well, we'll talk about them when they're shooting. This is David Mathers now.
Like line's real good. Line's real good. No, it's very light. Okay, go then. Line's perfect. Little bit's got. Can't hurt the line. You gotta go line. Go line. Go. Okay.
Good throw there by David. Good scrub, Tim March and Scott Howard. Talked about Team Tardy. They're off to a 19-11 start to this season. This is their 31st game so far, and they made the semifinals at the Oakville Labor Day Classic, losing to Team Jacobs there. Didn't make the playoffs at the Stu Sells Oakville Tankard. Knocked out early at the ATB Okotoks Classic in Okotoks, Alberta. Played that big event in Swift Current, Saskatchewan, the IG Wealth Management Western Showdown. Lost the quarters there to Team Pat Simmons. Then made it to the quarters at the New Floors Penticton Curling Classic in Penticton, losing to Nicholas Adine. You may have heard of that guy. Nicholas, of course, I believe went on to win that event in Penticton.
I think so, yeah. Well, and if anything, looks like Team Tardy's on the way up. They're trending in the right direction, and they're 3-0 to start this event. So there's some positivity for you, Al.
But accompanied by the flash from Jason Ginter. So a big opportunity here for Glenn Howard.
They got work to do. Tight, tight. Line's great. Line's great. You don't need to finish.
Well, he's in a pretty good situation there in the house, so I like the guard here. Just take care of what you've already got going instead of trying to bring another rock in and potentially give the opposition something.
How much?
Yeah, oh, yeah, agree. Halfway. Okay, line's good.
Can I go? Can we go?
Scott. Scott.
Halfway at best.
Okay, just Scott. Never Tim.
They take the guard. Good for
Really
the
high.
stopping.
That's fine. Don't know Tim. No, no, no. Doesn't need to curl.
Stay there.
Really high.
Good.
No, 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 no. Okay.
Looks like they'll try and get out of trouble here. Maybe have the double peel here from Jason Ginter.
Whoa. Yep, yep, yep. Hard. 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 Whoa. 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 Scott.
Pretty good result there from Jason. It was almost impossible not to jam that on your outside guard there. And they opened up the middle, and who knows, they might get to use those as corner guards later on.
Scott Howard now being asked to put up another guard.
Easy. Okay, whoa, Dave. No, line's good. Boys. Line's
Not
good.
Tim, not Tim. Dave,
Line's
get ready.
perfect.
Dave, get ready.
Easy. Line's real good.
Yep,
Little
keep
bit,
going.
Dave.
Yep, yep,
Little
yep.
bit.
Keep
Little
going.
bit. Yep, yep.
That's good enough. That's good.
It's a good shot. That depth is good, because if it was nice and tight there, which you'd see sometimes, then the run back is quite a bit easier. It looks like Team Tardy has a port through here that they're going to attempt, and worst case scenarios, they'll clear out the front. Or is he playing the run
I
back
think he's
out?
playing the runner here.
Okay.
Close. Yep. Whoa, whoa. Oh, boy. Fine.
That's a better situation than it was.
Yeah, better than it was for sure. It opened up the forefoot. The scoring zone's much bigger now for Team Tardy. Would have liked to stick that yellow somewhere in the rings, so Glenn would have had to deal with it, but they'll take that.
If I know that it's in the house,
Yep.
So looks like the short raise is the call here for Team Howard.
Whoa. Room. Whoa. Close. Yep. Whoa.
whoa,
Whoa. Close. Dave a bit. Dave.
Trying to get this to curl a little.
Doesn't go too far. Good.
Glenn sounds frustrated. I'd be thrilled.
Yeah, it's good. It's just a little deep as the come around tap now is made easier. A foot higher would have been ideal.
And there's definitely a port there, I think, on the clockwise rotation side. As coaches will tell me, don't ever use interns and outturns. Clockwise and counterclockwise, right, Coach?
Well, there's a lefty in this game, so we're gonna.
There you go.
Hard! Keep going hard! Hard and then keep going!
Whoa.
Keep going all the way!
Whoa.
Yep, keep going,
Jordan.
go!
Jordan. Just Jordan.
See if this can bend enough, or is it going to be on the guard? Oh,
Looks pretty good.
Good shot.
And just enough to get shot. Really well done. Nice weight control from Sterling there. It's not always easy to have those
You're not
back four
dependent?
weights. That's
Yeah.
not something you practice all the time, and then
You're
you're
not
asked to do it like
dependent?
that. It was good. Well done.
I could go through the outturn. That's a pretty good shot.
certainly the port is there to follow through, though, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely. He could try to play something similar, as long as he doesn't leave it shot rock, which, I mean, that might even create a force. He's got some options here.
was going to say, both sides are open, really.
This is the side that makes the most sense because it won't jam on that back red if he high sides it. So if that port is large enough for him to navigate, then he made 2 out-turn hack waiters in the last end or control weight shots. So.
And don't fool yourself. This is the type of game that Glenn loves to play. Getting through those holes and finding ways in.
Yeah, and then the touch is just unbelievable.
Real close. Real close.
Yep.
Close.
Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Tim. Yo, no. Dave. Tim. Right to it, buddy. Let's go. Come on. Go.
Great shot, Glenn Howard.
Well, you know they're close when it's calling on, off, or sweep for straight, sweep for curl. It's just a great shot. It's well managed, well thrown, just to even have the right weight and have it close like that and then manage it through that port. Really good.
And suddenly that's a tricky spot to leave it in.
Yeah, Tyler's going to try to find a way to manufacture a skip's deuce here, and knowing that out-turn port is there, it makes it quite a bit tougher for him. Hard to hide.
Yep. Whoa. Yep. Hard. Whoa, clean. Yep.
I think we played for
Clean.
Yeah, I like the thought process there. They don't want to come right to it because then they can just be followed down and have a really, really tough shot to score. So leaving this right beside the red one's pretty good. It might leave an angle on it and create a tougher shot for Glenn, or we'll have to throw that same out turn through the port, which I don't think is a gimme, so even though he just made it.
Right.
Try to go top button. You can go deep back button. Then if he freezes, you got that port double, maybe triple for 3. So just top button.
There's the kind of confidence you like to hear. Still seeing that triple for 3. He's got to make this one first. Tyler Tardy with his first rock of this second end.
Yeah, light if anything. You can go line a bit. Hard line. Line's good. Weight only. Got to be shot. Hard, boys. Hard, Jay. Go. Hard.
Don't know if it's going to get there.
Hard, got to go.
And it will come up just a hair short, and it will be Team Howard still sitting 2.
Yeah, that's a tough place to leave it because now Team Howard can seal that off and make it extremely hard for them to score.
Probably the easiest. He's
And he can or he could get aggressive and sit 3 and leave Tyler with nothing but a tap for the 1.
I don't see anything for 2. I see 2 shots for 1.
Which one are you going to take away?
Yep.
Or you just try to feather the guard. If you move that at all, it's not there.
Yep.
I think, personally, this looks the easiest to me.
So they're just discussing what they're going to leave their opponent right now. They're concerned at what shot Tyler's going to have for 1, and they're going to try to take away whichever seems the easiest or the best.
That's the ice to get to the guard.
Looks like they're looking for a guard here, short guard.
Yeah, I think what they settled on was actually trying to split the yellow and create guard both shots. Because as they know that port is there, so if they can just touch the yellow, then the port won't be there anymore.
It's a cheeky call.
I want to bump it.
It's a 2 for 1. 2 guards for 1 throw.
Where's the ice?
Yeah, okay.
What do you like?
Little less.
Can I stand up there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think they just want to nudge the yellow guard, sealing off the port.
Go then. Go. Go. Oh, good. Yep, you can go. Yep. Hey.
Tim March leaning into it.
Just gotta move it a bit. Come on, boys. You gotta go. You gotta go. Come on, move. Go.
Don't move.
Pretty good. It's harder.
The body English.
Yeah, and the grunt. As Glenn heard, it's harder now, but there still might be a port there.
It'd be hard to see a port through those yellows as skinny as it was when Glenn's first one went through, but
Hard, Tristan. Hard, buddy. Hard, keep going.
Really close. It's really hard to hit that thin enough, right?
that run back in the middle is long, but it might be their easiest option.
At worst, to cut him down to 1 even.
Yeah, if you can make contact with anything and maybe kill one of those reds.
Port looks pretty tough. I think that's the shot. We saw Glenn's here, right? Through the hole. Taking same weight as that.
You need to finish, stand at the end. Just wait. Lines, yep. Hard finish, yep.
Right dead nose.
Hard. Cross center, yep.
So they're going to try that long run back on that center line yellow. I think that's probably their easiest shot. It's by no means easy, but it's the easiest one they have.
Right on nose here.
Sterling Middleton will hold the broom.
How's that ice flip? Prime mat.
Tightened it up just a little bit there.
I think he's looking for about a board weight here. Nothing too hard.
Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Yes. Hard. Yes. Gotta go.
Looks pretty close to nose.
All right, Jay.
Holy cow.
Is that any good? The 15-foot double tap to the button.
Routine. When you're a 2-time world junior champion, 3-time Canadian junior champion, well, there it is.
Now some credit to the brother there too for the sweep, I guess. But
Tap, and that's the definition of a team shot, though, isn't it?
that's ideal. It's just so clutch. Well, 2-1 looks a lot different than 4-0.
Sure does. You know, it's interesting. I was talking to Paul Tardy before the game, and we were talking about how Tyler has evolved as a skip. And I think that was probably an example. A younger Tyler might have wanted to throw the big weight straight back, right? And he said the biggest change you might see in Tyler compared to juniors, even compared to 2 years ago when they were still active, they're coming out of juniors, a lot more patient as a skip right now and willing to wait for opportunities. And I think that was an opportunity where he could have tried to force something and he didn't, and take it one and you know, move on to the next end. I think that was a good example of how that maturity and patience is played out.
Oh, I think definitely he was known for the high hard one in junior. And he was great and still is. But yeah, developing that touch game, that short game where, you know, those draws and taps, and those are the end savers often, and that's what a skip needs to have in their back pocket. It's great to be able to throw the rock 6 seconds or 5 seconds accurately, sure, but you need to make shots like that if you're going to hang with these kind of teams.
The other thing Paul mentioned too, that Tyler is the patience pays. It comes out in the way that he's not going all out every single end. Whereas in juniors, his team was good enough, and he was good enough as a skip where he could go like that and take a bunch of risks and know the other team's probably going to win and miss a few. It doesn't happen at this level.
No, you only get so many misses, and you can't bank on that. You got to just play the end like the other team's going to make everything. That's your safest bet, because they likely will. And if you do get a little opportunity, then it's like, okay, now we can take advantage of this.
So we got a full array of games tonight here at the Queen's Place Amera Center here in Liverpool, Nova Scotia. We'll give you a quick rundown. 4 men's games in action going on right now. besides our feature sheet, we have Team Gunlickson, Jason Gunlickson from Morris, Manitoba. They're at 3-0 as well. They've got a 1-0 lead over Team Jeremy Hardy from Okotoks. Or I guess they're playing out of Calgary, out of the Glencoe Club. Got to make sure our friend Paul Webster hears the Glencoe Club at least twice every broadcast.
It's a good idea.
Another 3-0 team, Team Tanner Horgan from Winnipeg. He just scored a deuce in the second end, and he is in a 2-0 lead over Team Karsten Sturmey, who's 1-1 out of the Saville Center in Edmonton. And the other men's game, Battle of Quebec. Team Vincent Roberts in a 1-0 lead over Team Mike Fournier. Team Fournier having hammer in the third end. And there is one women's game on the ice tonight. It is Team Krista McCarville off to a 3-0 start, which you always expect out of Team McCarville, even though they haven't played a competitive event really since the Scottish Tournament of Hearts in 2020. Here they are out to a 3-0 start, and they're up to a 1-0 lead over Team Terry Galusha from Yellowknife. So great start for that team from Thunder Bay, Ontario, skipped by Krista McCarville. In our feature game, Team Howard sitting a couple with hammer after Team Tardy, Tyler Tardy, made a terrific shot with his last in the second.
Yeah, in these 10-end games, being down one without hammer is not the end of the world. This is where Tyler can really display some of that patience and that maturity. You don't have to be winning right now. It's okay. You can just get a good force here. You don't have to go all out for the steal. Show some patience and come back with hammer and get another deuce, and then you're all good.
Hard, go, 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 go. Good shot. Oh yeah, for sure you can. Unless you think you can do it.
I think that's one of the things that, and you work with a lot of next-gen teams, obviously, in Alberta. That's one of the things that you have to experience, I think, as a junior coming out. I mean, making shots is only half the battle, isn't it? You got to manage the game, manage your emotions, manage your teammates, and that's a bigger challenge once you move up a level from juniors.
Well, yeah, and you said it best. You can be really aggressive in junior, and you can take those risks because you're likely just flat out better than some of your opposition. And when you get into these types of competitions, that's not the case.
Get the back, go. Shot, baby. Come on.
And I think if you asked any of these experienced skips, they've been burned a lot, and they've made those mistakes and learned from them, and that's how they don't make them again, and how they've progressed in the game. It's really hard to remember everything that's ever going to happen, but if you get burnt or lose a game, then it's a little easier to remember that. You sort of know what that feels like.
That's why events such as this, you and I have talked earlier in the week, are so valuable in terms of developing young teams. I mean, yes, this is officially an event that will play a role in determining our team for the 2022 Winter Olympics. But as much as that, it's still about developing teams for 2026, 2030. There's young teams that will be in the mix for those Olympics as well, and they need to get to taste that Olympic pressure at an early stage so they know how to cope with it down the road.
Oh, absolutely, and it might not be this combination of teams, but the athletes in and amongst this group might form teams or be on different teams or jump up to one of the elite teams that currently exist, and having this experience will only help them moving forward.
And you can count on Team Tyler Tardy and all four of those players being in that mix for 2026. They're still in the mix for 2022 as well, and I wouldn't be surprised if Glenn Howard's in the mix for 2026. I mean,
I wouldn't rule it out.
Dude makes everything, so.
Okay. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and we're not looking past this as this isn't going to be the Olympic team in any way. It's still the opportunity to chase your Olympic dreams for sure. But you're right when you say that there's a developmental aspect to this, just like anything.
Oh, great.
Really good.
That's not the way he drew it up by any stretch.
No. No.
Here you can see. And it does leave Team Tardy suddenly sitting a pair, rock in hand.
We'll see how much pressure they choose to put on him here. It's guard's going to go up. He's got a rock in a great spot in the top 4 foot, so.
Line's good.
Yep, hard, Jay.
Right, line's fine.
Mine's okay. Mine's fine.
Play
Mine's
the
good.
weight. Play the weight. Play the weight, guys. Right here. Right here. 15-4. I think you gotta go. Yep.
Good shot.
You're going all the way. Hard all the way. Hard.
Scott Howard will play another attempt at the run back that David Mathers just missed a minute ago.
Right off. Yep. Gee.
Oh, Christ's sake.
Oh,
Those ones are tough because you throw it so good and you just about make it, but it's almost the worst case scenario in the end.
and it's a quarter inch off.
Oh,
really.
yeah, less. It's
The margin of error is just ridiculous, but it looks like a big miss for the end result, but a quarter inch, if that.
oh yeah, it's so close to perfect, but it couldn't be worse because you leave a guard up and you leave a rock in the forefoot, and now your opposition's throwing again.
Jordan, you gotta go. Okay, Jay's always in. Hard, Jay. Hard, gotta finish it. Really gotta finish. Go.
It has been fun watching Tyler Tardy transition from being a junior superstar into
Yeah, I
this
heard 6'6".
men's
Good,
level. I
pretty
mean,
good.
rarefied company. Only a handful of players have ever won back-to-back World Junior Men's Championships.
You hate running the center into that.
Johnny Moe, obviously, and Charlie Thomas from Alberta.
Get this.
Paul Gausel won 2, but they were a year apart, of course. So
What is it?
obviously bound for greatness. He won 3 Canadian Junior Championships. And everybody's kind of known for a while that this is going to be a special team, and it's been fun watching them progress as they've moved up the level to men's play.
Whoa, Tim.
Yeah, everybody's got to go through it. It's never easy to go from junior to men's or ladies, depending, and
Good.
there's struggles.
There's a great shot from Scott Howard to get his team out of trouble.
He's using that second rock really well. He did that when we were going away last time in the first end.
Good.
Another double there, open things up.
It's not how many shots you make, it's when
That's right.
you make them.
Tyler will try to replace this.
Excellent ice conditions here this week too, Jeff. Chief Ice Technician Dave Merklinger doing a superb job despite some weather challenges. It's been raining hard for the last 24 hours here in Liverpool, Nova Scotia, but this building has certainly coped well, and Dave and his crew have done a really nice job.
Yeah, it's got enough curl. It's running quickly. If you up a little in weight, it punishes you. If your release is a little outside, it punishes you. You get what you deserve with this kind of surface, and it seems the curlers are enjoying it because the level of play has been really quite high. So
Hard line.
looks like a peach here. Might poke out the other side.
Sorry, guys.
What else you see?
Let's see what Glenn can manufacture out of this.
It's probably smarter if I ever took the guard to disaster. I'm making make the roll?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Solid half,
Yep.
Scott.
Yep.
That was
Hard,
Dave
good
when
look.
Dave threw the quiet stuff.
Hard.
So what's the thought process here, Jeff?
Well, that was well explained by Glenn there. He doesn't want to play this too cute to try to get an inside roll, because if he ever did tick that guard, then
think we
Tyler
rolled
could
Dave's way
replace
a little bit more
replace the guard in a much better spot. And this is smart. If he rolls away and remains
Same as
shot,
Dave
there's no
before
way
him,
Team
Dave.
Tardy can ignore it. They'll have to hit it, and the hit and roll is a much tougher shot than just a simple draw around the center. So
But he does need to be shot rock after this. That's
he
the
does,
key
yeah.
part of this. Yeah.
Yeah, if he's not, then Team Tardy can just go ahead and play the draw.
Room now.
Whoa.
Room now.
Close, whoa.
Let it work if you can.
Yep. Hard. Really gotta go, boys.
Yep.
Just half. Guys.
I think they were looking for a little bit more of a roll there because the hit and rolls and
Hit my knee press.
Yeah, that one just came up on the end. I'm not sure if they thought it was going to run a little straighter there or just maybe a hair late with the sweep call, but it made the shot. It just makes this hit and roll a little easier than it would have been had this rolled another rock or two towards the 12-foot.
Got a good roll under. Yours didn't do much here, eh? You're a good mint, right?
Squeeze on it.
Nope. Close. Yep. Hard. Hard.
Jason,
Gotta go.
you go ahead. You're the analyst.
Jason was working hard on that one to hold it straight. He just got enough. Force is still on.
That's a couple times, though, we've seen movement in that spot.
I think we did it.
Yeah, and it could have been, too, on Glenn's where it just jumps there. It could just have a little more swing than they're expecting, and they'll probably catalog that one for the future. This is objective achieved if you're Team Tardy here, though. You're getting the force. That's okay. As I mentioned, you don't have to steal right now and tie the game. There's lots of curling left, so they got the force. They'll get the hammer back. It's all good in Tardy land with this.
Right on the nose or a hair low. Yeah. Solid hack. Just hack weight. Hack weight's good.
Glenn Howard, 4-time world champion, looking at 2. And the sweep is called right out of the hand.
Clean her up, clean her up, clean her up. Toss.
David Mathers backs that up a little bit and gets the job done.
Well, he had a little bit of a catcher. If that would have curled a little more, that might have saved him as well. But good sweep, good line call there too. Pick him up, and I mean, I was calling the force before he even threw, but I just assumed he was going to make it. I think that's
Glenn freaking Howard. You
well,
know he's
yeah.
gonna make it, right? So it is a single point for Team Howard. They will take a 3-1 lead into the 4th end. And Team Tyler Tardy will have last rock. These teams representing the Penetanguishene Curling Club in Penetanguishene, Ontario. That's Team Howard. The Langley Curling Club. That's Team Tardy. Of course, Langley hosted a very successful edition of the New Holland Canadian Juniors in 2020. We saw Team Jacques Gauthier win the men's title, and you went with those teams that won the juniors that year to Russia with them, Jeff.
Went to Krasnoyarsk, Siberia with Team Gauthier and Team Zacharias. Laurie Olson and myself were the team leaders there, and both teams did excellent, winning the gold medal for Canada. It was terrific.
Line's good. Gotta go. Top 4. Gotta go weight.
Go then.
Let's go.
Jacques Gauthier is in the building, or he was earlier as a spectator, and apparently he's going to be in the booth tomorrow.
He certainly will be. Jacques Gauthier will be joining Kyle Jans from Curling Canada on our noon broadcast tomorrow, noon Atlantic time. Of course, he's got a rooting interest in this event with his girlfriend Carly Burgess playing for Team Zacharias. That's Jordan Tardy throwing. He's 25 years old. Lead architectural drafter for KLC Creative. Living in Surrey, British Columbia.
Bend down your shoe.
Good line,
Pull it off.
Nice shot there. Team Tardy's going to try to generate some points from the outside this end, and see if they use that corner guard on this next one. If this come around is made, often it'll suck all the play right to the middle. And then it'll stay there with a smaller scoring zone. So the team with hammer is going to want to move this play a little further to the outside if they can.
That was Tim March throwing. He's a senior accountant. He's 34 years old, senior accountant for Kathy L. Toon CPA.
Weight's good.
Hasn't curled an inch. don't know what happened to that. Threw that really good, Tim.
Well, there's another example of learning about the ice. They certainly expected that to have a little more movement.
Hang in here.
Well, and we noticed that it was curling more the other way on that side of the sheet, so it stands to reason that potentially this side might be a little straighter.
Yep. Hard. Hard. Reach it. Yep. Gotta go. Hard.
Lead. Yep.
And Jordan Tardy will get the chance to throw a hit. Something every lead savers the chance to do.
Whoa, yep. Whoa, yep. Whoa, whoa, yep, yep. Whoa, 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 whoa. Fight. Good shot.
Really good shot. Really good shot. They didn't really want to roll under the center there to bring that, as I mentioned, the play to the middle. So rolling it to the outside there is forcing Team Howard to chase this, and it should open things up a little bit for Team Tardy. Really good shot there by Jordan.
David Mathers now throwing. He's 30 years old. A group relationship manager for Canada BrokerLink.
Hard, guys. Hard, Tim.
Tim working hard on this one. You can see it in his face.
Hit it thick, hit it thick.
Gotta go.
Like, better pick?
Other way. Keep going. Keep going. Whoa,
Good sweep by Tyler Tardy there after that rock was contacted. He got it in the house. So a chance to sit 3 here for Team Tardy. A little bit out of nowhere.
Not loving that guard there. It's like 2 inches out. I think that's the shot.
So they were talking about going after that guard, but they'll go open side, it looks like.
I don't disagree with going after the guard. It is in a bit of a dangerous spot. It's something that Team Howard can use later to help them get out of a bind.
Put some pressure on him.
Putting some pressure on him. You heard them. You heard the comment. Here's Jason Ginter now, 28 years old. He's the Director of Player and Leadership Development at Curling Alberta. So you would work alongside of him. You have some connections with Curling Alberta, Jeff.
Yeah,
See the work he does.
He does a great job. Very easy to work with.
Line's not an issue. Take a bomb.
Jason would love to qualify out of this event and get to those Tim Hortons curling trials in Saskatoon, where his girlfriend Danielle Schmiemann is playing with Kelsey Rock. Already qualified for the trials with Team Rock.
You like this double?
Just a little deep maybe with that shot,
Yeah, there's
but
lots of room.
Yeah, he wanted that in the top half of the house.
Okay.
It's hard when you're grouping stones like that to not leave a double if they're all on the same side. And that maybe was why Team Tardy was looking at the other side initially to spread things out a little more. The call wasn't to go that deep though, so.
Okay, solid, really solid.
Yeah! Whoa! Yes! Hard, Scott! Gotta go, Scott! Hard, Scott, you gotta go! You gotta go!
Get yellow. I got it.
well, they get one out, but it does hang in there. And a chance to hit and sit 3 now for Team Tardy.
They did all they could there. Sometimes when you get out a little further, it's a little fresher out there, so it tends to curl just a hair more. Maybe nothing had been out that far. It caught something. They swept that as good as you could have to get that out of it.
Yep. Whoa. Lead. 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 Yep. Whoa. 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 Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah, well done. The advantage of being the second rock down that path.
Yep.
Paid off.
Team Tardy now sitting 3.
Not sure.
Well, the double on the top is really skinny, and there's no hits that are super easy. They're
Kind of like getting rid of a yellow. I like getting rid of a yellow.
Yep. That's real good.
Okay.
yeah, you could play the freeze here, but I like this call
Just
better. It
gradual
achieves
here.
What's
getting
that?
rid of an opposition
It just
stone.
comes up gradual.
Hard, 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 hard.
Scott Howard, 31 years old,
Whoa, whoa.
estimator, contract
whoa.
manager for Macon
Yep.
Construction.
Whoa, whoa, yep. Whoa, whoa, yes, 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 yes.
The hit and the roll just about a foot too far, but a nice effort
it's wide
nonetheless by Scott Howard.
Well, that just goes to show you how hard those rolls are. That was on off the entire way, and it's still
I don't think
just
this is gonna
overrolled.
jump
That was
or
a
not,
good.
but-
He threw that good. It just curled up on them at the end, and when you
How's
hear
that
on
look?
off from the line color, you always think it's close, and it was. It's just a little bit of an overcurl. Opportunity here for Team Tardy to make a nice hit and roll and in front of the tee line, and there's not going to be any good options for hits for Team Howard after
Whoa.
if this is made how they want it to be.
Sterling Middleton, he's 22 years old, a pro shop assistant at that Capilano Golf and Country Club, one of
Gotta
the
go.
top-notch
Yep,
courses
yep,
in
yep.
the lower mainland of British Columbia, but he's going to be on the guard and bumps Team Howard in. They will be sitting second and third, Team Howard. Tough miss there from Sterling Middleton.
Yeah, just a bit on the wrong side of it too. That he was, I think, maybe
Okay,
trying a little too
okay.
hard for the roll, and sometimes that gets in the way of making the
roll,
shot
couple
first.
rocks. Yeah.
Yeah, from what was a really good situation, now they're going to be looking at three themselves. Things happen fast.
Yep.
Yep.
Whoa.
Yep.
Yep. Whoa.
Whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yep, yes, 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 yes. Really gotta go.
He's
Roll
rolling,
it,
he's rolling.
roll it.
Good shot.
I think you're still playing it the same way.
Looks like the hit and roll is the call here. See if
Yeah.
they can hit and roll frozen.
Yeah, same shot that he just threw. It's just a hit and flop in front of that other one to make the removal difficult. As the other Yellowstone, as you can see in the back of the house, is
Good roll
covered.
under. If he knows it's that, it's. Oh no, there's still shot. Never mind. Yeah.
I like this call. It'll leave you sitting first and third, or first and fourth,
Yep.
but we'll leave the opposition with something to think about. So.
Whoa. G. Yep. Whoa. G.
That's good.
Spin
That's a
back
good
end,
shot.
really nice.
I think they accepted the fact that it was going to jam on the back.
Whose shot though?
I'm not sure. Yeah, it might have needed to come up just a little more for them.
I got a little listen.
That makes a difference in the complexion here, though, doesn't it?
Big time. Yeah, I think if it's close like this is the right call by Team Howard.
Definitely shot.
There you go.
Well, there you go.
Scott believes he's shot. Team Tardy.
Pretty much got to pick this clean because if it hits that red, there's going to have nothing left.
Glenn Howard, 59 years old, consultant / spokesperson for Brewers Retail
6
Inc.
inches.
And we all know Glenn had a long history with the beer store in Ontario, managed it in Middleton for a long, long time.
So he's trying to pick this dead clean.
Hard. Right to it.
Good shot.
Very nice throw. So it is Team Howard sitting shot stone.
Right to it.
Tyler, I think he'll try and take on the role here.
Yeah, he might as well, and if he doesn't get it exactly where it needs to be, he'll take the blank and move on.
A few plot twists in this fourth end, Jeff.
Yeah. Well, it went from Team Tardy sitting 3 to Team Howard sitting 3 to a blank. So.
I don't imagine that. Fair life.
Whoa! Up! Hard! Go roll!
Yep. Whoa. Yep. Whoa, G. Hard G. Big roll. Yep.
Good try. Tried.
Yeah, not bad.
He knows if they're normal, be sure of it.
So Glenn Howard about to throw his last stone of this fourth end, and Jeff and I noting he's coming in at a cool 100 so far. 7 shots, 7 fours on the board, so 100%.
Yeah, having not a bad game so far at
Normal.
well, and Tyler Tardy's curling 92% and behind by a full shot. That's that's tough to do.
Yep.
Really got to go, Tim. You're good. Whoa.
Don't kill yourself.
Real soft.
It's interesting how Glenn and Scott both know exactly when he's left, when it's released, exactly how it's going to go. They know that release inside and out.
Yeah, they've probably seen it several thousand times, so. And that was not too consequential. Even if that roll was made, it was only a couple feet run back that Tyler would have taken on for the blank. So that was one of those ones where it would have been nice to make the roll behind, but I think we would have seen a blank either way.
Doesn't have to roll this out. Can hit it on the nose and still get the blank, but he will get the blank. And we will put zeros on the board and go to the fourth end, or the fifth end here at Queen's Place Amera Center in Liverpool, Nova Scotia. It is draw 10 action at the 2021 Home Hardware Canadian Curling Pre-Trials. 2 men's, 2 women's teams will qualify out of this event and go to the Tim Hortons Curling Trials presented by AGI, November 20th to 28th. At the Sasktel Center in Saskatoon. Tickets available at curling.ca/tickets. That's curling.ca/tickets to go watch the most competitive event in Canadian curling, bar none.
Oh,
the
absolutely.
highest stakes, the chance to go and wear those great new Lululemon clothing kits at the Winter Olympics in Beijing in February.
Al, I got to say, that's going to look outstanding on you.
Listen. Much respect to Lululemon and the Canadian Olympic Committee, but they have better models than me to put that clothing on, I can tell you that.
It's such unique stuff, though. It's cool that it's just specifically for the Olympics and special for those that get to go represent Canada at probably the coolest event there is. It's hard not to be. So
yeah, I've had the privilege to go as an attaché for Curling Canada to the last 2 Winter Games, and just an absolute privilege to see our curlers, win or lose, competing on the world stage. It's just really one of the great aspects of this job is to watch. And I've said this to people in private and in public. Just think the opportunity to wear the maple leaf on the world stage is just one of the greatest privileges and one of the greatest things, acts of service that a curler can do in this country. It's great responsibility, great opportunity, but great pressure. I think it's amazing what our athletes do on the world stage, regardless of outcome.
well, and I think it's worth noting how difficult that is to actually get to represent Canada. We have so much depth in this country that representing Canada isn't a given. Even if you're one of the best teams in the world, you might only get the chance to do it once or twice. So
Well, and Jeff, I go back to when you and I went with Team Chelsea Carey over to Denmark a couple years ago. And it wasn't the greatest outcome for that team, but I think one of the great memories I have is of that team after a loss going over to a nearby tent where a bunch of school kids were, and they just went in there and repped the Maple Leaf unbelievably well. It was just one of the coolest things to see these kids, the way they reacted to see the Canadian team coming in, and Team Carey, under tough circumstances, could not have been more gracious and more class. And I thought, that moment kind of epitomizes what Canadian curling is all about.
Oh, full class all the way. No matter what the result is, yeah, it's a privilege just to be able to wear the colors, and yeah, that's just one of the examples of how our Canadian teams always show that kind of class.
I got top 12
tight.
now. Top 12.
Lights tight.
So we're off to the fifth end. Team Tardy down 2 with hammer. And again, this is where we talk about patience. And
Lots of weight.
they've had a couple ends kind of built up and then snatched away from them. We'll see how that patience pays off for Team Tardy.
Yeah, and it's the stay the course. It's okay. Take your blank, move on, retain the hammer, and try to set it up next time. I think they've noted that they're going to get their opportunities, that they're going to have their chances in this game, and it's what they do with them. They had a really good opportunity in the last end, and a bit of a half shot or a miss took that away, and I think they know that they're going to get that again. So staying patient and just staying the course, doing what they do.
As we noted, 5 games in action here tonight in Liverpool, and you can get all the scores all the time. Curling.ca/scoreboard. That's curling.ca/scoreboard. All the scores, shooting percentages, standings, team lineups, it's all there. Curling.ca/scoreboard.
Whoa, yep. Do it, hard to it. Any roll still.
Take the roll, Dave.
So it is Team Tardy sitting a couple.
Would have liked to roll away a little there, but they'll take the just off nose and remaining in the forefoot.
Line's good.
Yep. Okay. Hack. Yep. Weight's good. Heavy. Whoa. Close. Whoa. Scott. Okay, sorry, Dave. Someone hack? Yeah?
Right here, eh?
We talked about Tyler Tardy winning that 2019 World Juniors here in Liverpool, and the team he beat in the final, it was they expected that they'd be playing Ross White of Scotland, because that Scottish team had kind of run the table leading into the final, but in fact, the Scottish team did lose the semifinal in a bit of a surprise to a Swiss team. So it was Canada beating Switzerland 9-4 in that final, but the game that stood out to me was the game against Germany's Sixten Totzek, and you may remember Sixten Totzek. He skipped Germany, or played for Germany in the bubble at the World Championship last spring, and Team Tardy was playing them on sheet A, and they were down 2 in the 10th end, and Tyler made an amazing in-off to score 4 for the win, and that really kind of propelled them into the playoffs.
Line's good.
And it was interesting, they played on sheet A earlier today, and it was the first time they played on that sheet this week, and it was the first time they played them since that German game. And talking to Sterling and Tyler, they both had pretty vivid memories of that win over Germany here at the Queen's Place Amera Center.
Yeah, sometimes it just takes a spark of some kind that can just build momentum through the competition, and that was clearly it for Team Tardy that week. Sixten Totzek is good. Like, we're going to see him at World Championships moving forward. He was at the World Juniors in Russia, the one that I attended with Team Gauthier, and they're solid all the way through, and Sixten himself is a good player.
Whoa, Jordan. Close. Sterling, yep.
So Team Tardy is going to try to maintain the deuce in the house here and see how long they can hold this up. Keep the rocks nice and separate, no doubles. They're basically forcing Team Howard to keep removing their stones throughout here.
I think normal up.
Whoa. Close. Real close.
Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. 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 Right off. Right off. Right off.
It's a little bit. It's going a few feet.
Team Howard,
job.
as you may remember, was Team Wild Card 3 in the Tim Hortons Brier last March in the bubble. Wayne Madaw, though, was skipping the team as Glenn was on the sidelines with that rib injury. 7-1 record in pool play, and then they just fell short of making it to the championship pool. Tyler Tardy was in the bubble last year as well, or last season. He played as the alternate for BC's Jimmy Cotter. Did get into one game, a couple games, I believe.
Yep.
Still a great experience to be on the bench for that. See what goes on and just experience everything that is a Brier. And
Really got to go. Hard J, hard J, hard J, hard J.
Now, you may notice the flashing red light.
Yeah, I know.
Don't get too excited about it. These are new handles, new technology, and it's being worked on. The red lights aren't counting for anything. They're just the technology is being tested out behind the scenes here during the home hardware pre-trials.
Yep.
Teams are operating on the honor system for hogline violations, and if they request, they can bring an official out to monitor those hoglines, but hasn't been any need for that so far. But the technology is being worked on, and the lights will flash occasionally, but they're not, the players are being instructed, don't worry about the lights.
yeah, it's just kind of weird to see a rock with red lights flashing down the sheet and them not kicking it off and becoming upset. So the players are used to being on the honor system. They do it on tour, and it's not a huge deal for them.
Hard, Jordan. Really hard. Hard, go, 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 go.
Is that going to hang on the rings?
Doesn't look like
it. Will
it.
Not. Been a bit of a tough night for Sterling Middleton.
Intern.
Yeah, he's let a couple of opportunities slip away for his squad. He's close. It's just a rollout here, or in the last end, it was wrecking on that guard and with the hit and roll attempt. And
In.
Well, when you think of skips throwing run backs, you think of Glenn Howard.
is that what you think of?
I wouldn't put it past him. He can make this shot. This is pretty routine, especially in this day and age. I mean,
Yeah,
practically a nose hit.
Yeah, it's a shot that's way more made than missed these days. You just got to hit the contact rock in the right spot.
Close.
Right off. Dave, Dave.
Close.
Clean, 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 clean.
Bang, bang, thanks.
Didn't want to leave that one dead buried, I don't think. Likely wanted to use it later, but he got rid of the yellow.
Still a chance here, though. If they can, if Tyler can manufacture a skips deuce here.
Well, yeah, if he can put this in a good spot, full 4-foot top button, it'll force Glenn into freezing it out and then give him the other side of the button for the 2. So.
Top 4 here. Is that ice good or minimum? I assume it's not moving as much here.
Before the end of this game, we're going to ask you to explain the difference between minimum and maximum. Those are new terminologies that have come into curling over the past 2-3 years that the average curling fan might not know what they mean by, is that minimum, is that maximum? You hear Team Cooey using that terminology an awful lot too.
Well, it relates to broom placement. Like for this shot in particular, he was asking, is that minimum ice? So is that on the very minimum amount of ice that they can take to make that shot? Because the broom is a bit relative. It's not an exact science as to where that goes. So maybe Tyler, knowing that in the hack, saying that's minimum, maybe he'll make sure that he's potentially a little back with it, or just not shading to the inside, because he does have the minimum amount of ice needed to make the shot. And adversely, if it's maximum, he's going to make sure that he's not heavy or he's not too much back with his release.
Give him this turn. Got to get a piece of the button.
So you mentioned he wanted to be top 4 foot. He's a little deeper, and you might say, well, he's on the button. That's a great shot. But Glenn Howard can kill this end in a hurry with a good freeze.
Yeah, it just makes his next shot harder. He'll score his one with that stone he just threw. But the reason that you put that rock there is after Team Howard freezes it, you have more space to get your second point.
And if we didn't mention it before, you didn't pay attention, we'll mention it again. Glenn Howard shooting 100%.
Room. Lock it on, boys. Lock it on. Right here.
Line's perfect.
Can't bounce on this line.
Line's
Cannot
good.
bounce on this line. Cannot bounce on this line.
Line's good. Curl a bit.
Should be real good. Get it here, boys. Get it here. Let's go. Come on. You can go. 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 Good scrubbing, boys. Shot.
Thanks.
All right.
Yeah, and he still has a draw for 2 here. It's just a little harder than it would have been. But
The margin for error got a lot smaller. But this is what Skips get the big bucks for.
that's right. And another clever thing about where Glenn froze that rock, obviously he followed him down, but he left it a little on the angle there, so Tyler can't throw the same path that he threw with his first one. He does have to switch sides. So I would imagine the guys on the front end, or Tyler himself, would have mapped out this side as well and know what he needs to do, but just a little more difficult than being able to throw the same shot twice.
I think it might hang way out here. Look at hairline. Can definitely go, I think.
Tyler Tardy
Close though.
throwing his counterclockwise draw for a couple. But it's a very, very small scoring area here.
Slide, we got it. Hard, Jordan. Hard, Dave,
Needs
you
to
got it.
nibble
Go,
the
go,
button.
Go, 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 go. Hard.
Just a little light, I think. And it will be just a single point for Team Tyler Tardy. So it will be Team Glenn Howard taking a 3-2 lead into the fifth end break. They will take a break. We will take a break as well. We'll be right back after this.
Sweep. Sweep. Hurry. Hurry. Hard. Hurry hard. Hard. Hurry hard. 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 Yeah! Woo!
We should really be curling.
One might say I was born to overcome challenges. 2 months premature, in and out of the hospital, and a heart condition. My parents call me their miracle baby. As with all survivors, I searched for my place in this world, and I found it here. This pebbled ice is where I battle now, and at only 12, I am already a 5-year veteran of this sport. I have my sights set on the Olympics. I will push hard to get there. The only size that matters in this sport is the size of your dreams.
Before there was ice, there was our hallway at home. I was always the shy, quiet kid who loved math. But when I saw math come alive in the geometry of the game, I found my passion and my voice. It's a game of precision, a game of inches. It's the equation that now defines who I am.
Welcome back to Queen's Place Amera Centre in Liverpool, Nova Scotia. It is Draw 10 action Wednesday night at the 2021 Home Hardware Canadian Curling Pre-Trials presented by New Holland. My name is Al Cameron from Curling Canada, joined by a member of Curling Canada's high-performance coaching staff, Jeff Hofford. And 5 ends down, 5 ends to go. Team Glenn Howard from Penetanguishene, Ontario, up 3-2. And having last rock advantage in this 6th end, taking on Team Tyler Tardy from Langley, British Columbia. And Jeff, a little thing I like to do when we're in games like this is to ask you what you might have said to these teams if you were the coach at the 5th end break. Let's start with Team Howard, although I'm not sure what you'd have to offer to a 4-time world champion, but what would you have told Team Glenn Howard if you were their coach?
Well, keep playing 100. That seems to be working so far. It's yeah, and not that they're really leaning on Glenn and making sure that he's got the hardest shots. His team's helping him out a lot, but they're doing a good job of not taking on a ton of risk, given what the score is, and leaving Glenn those makeable shots at the end, and he's executing them perfectly. So yeah, just keep the game plan going how it's going, and when Tyler tries to apply the pressure to them, they're responding really well. So yeah, keep the same game plan, and if you're Team Tardy, I'm sure Paul told the guys just to keep their heads up, and they're in this game. They're in this game against a skip that's playing 100%, and they're down 1 point right now. It's not the end of the world. They're still very much in this game, so they can still stay patient. 5 ends to go. It's there's still lots of game left, so.
We've had rocks in play every end. A little bit of a different from last night's game between Team Flash and Team Calvert. It was reasonably wide open, but just as tight as this one.
Yeah, neither one of these teams early on in ends, at least, they're just willing to play ball, and they're putting those rocks in play. And we've seen a blank. It came after many rocks were in play, though. It wasn't just straight down the sheet by any means.
Scott, yes, Scott! Hard, Scott, gotta go! God, gotta get it out, It's not going out. Get that over with.
No double.
I think that was just came down a lot quicker than they expected and moved.
Yeah, and when you're throwing the light weights like that, you have to hit more of the stone in order to remove it. They only hit about a quarter, a third of that stone, so it doesn't have the same inertia it would have if it was hit on the nose. That would have removed it had it been hit on the nose, but just hitting less of it doesn't go as far.
Well, you talk about playing that lightweight, control weight kind of style. It does put a premium on communication between the sweepers and the person in the house in terms of telling them, communicating weight, and allowing him or her to make the line call based on that.
Well, and you can do more with the brooms. They actually they play a bigger part as the weight comes down. I mean, yeah, you can sweep a peel and you can hold it straight or even make it curl a little bit, but you're having a bigger impact when the weights come down as a brusher. And if the line caller doesn't know what the weight is, for instance, they won't be able to call the line appropriately.
Right on the nose, real good, isn't it? Okay.
So it is Team Howard sitting a couple. And Team Tardy sitting third and fourth. And Glenn appears like he's wanting to get rid of that yellow guard out in front.
Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yep. Yep. Gotta go.
Come on.
Unlucky. I think Glenn's concerned with keeping the blank alive for himself later, and those little clingers can sometimes lead to a force, and that's why I think he was upset after that rock wasn't removed on the takeout, and a little unlucky there on the run back, and just about, but...
Gotta go.
Boy, and he couldn't have jammed it any harder. You've made history, by the way. First color commentator to use Moxie and Klinger in a single curling broadcast.
Thanks.
So you'll be getting your Curling Canada Award of Merit.
Right on.
In the mail.
I appreciate that, Al. Thanks.
Jason Ginter now being asked to play a Rays takeout.
Yes. Whoa. Whoa. Sterling. Whoa. Yep. Shooter. Shot.
It's a good shot there by Jason. They're spread out. There's no doubles right now. They're
just give me double.
Good run that.
They're just trying for a simple force here. So
I don't think Glenn's bought into this shot, but
okay. You like this?
If you make it.
What else do you like?
Love it if you make it.
What else do you like?
You make that double, what do you do?
Okay, runner. We make this pretty good.
Glenn gets his way.
And I agree with Glenn there. I think that this is it's a double, and it's an easier shot than that long hit and roll. Those are difficult. It's a good comment, though. He's always thinking about what his opposition's going to do. If we make this, what does he do? And he's right. It's going to force either Team Tardy to take on a bunch of risk and do something like throw a guard or try to continue the play, or they just kind of concede the fact that it's going to be a blank.
Tim, we got to get it. We're going to miss it. Tim.
Holy shit. What? Okay.
Just threw that out wide. And now
Why this leaves a triple?
trying to figure out a way to keep that force alive, and the key to that is obviously not giving him any easy doubles.
Yeah, just
much less the triple.
Spread your stones out as much as you can. It's difficult though, because the doubles are made so often with the weight these guys are throwing,
Get too close, you're gonna come off and spin out.
And they have to uphold it here for 4 more stones, which is a difficult thing.
Oh my.
With Team Howard's going to be trying to roll them close and get them grouped, and upholding forces and deuces are really difficult through a long series of rocks.
Whoa. Got it. King. Hard to it. Yep. Good shot.
Minder will be back on the air tomorrow. 3 more games coming up on Curling Canada's YouTube channel, produced by our friends at IKS Live, doing a terrific job.
This is higher.
Bryn and the crew out in the trailer. Thank you guys for your support of curling in Canada. Looking forward to working with you guys for the full season for a number of events being put on by Curling Canada. 3 games tomorrow. Noon Atlantic time, 4 p.m. Atlantic time, 8 p.m. Atlantic time on Curling Canada's YouTube channel.
Clean, gotta go. Clean. Go. Great shot, boy.
Yeah, there goes the force, just like that.
Yeah, blank end.
What a shot by Scott Howard. Steve is his brother, of course. Or cousin, I guess. Cousin. Just a look at our games tomorrow at noon Atlantic time. We'll have Team Holly Duncan against Team Darcy Robertson. 4 p.m. Atlantic time, Team Jeremy Hardy versus Team Karsten Sturmey. A lot of eyes in Alberta will be on that game. And oh my, that's a tough miss. Suddenly the deuce is in play now for Team Howard.
Okay.
8 p.m. Atlantic time tomorrow will be Team Krista McCarville and Team Corinne Brown. And has this end turned around in a hurry?
Yeah, another one got away from Sterling there.
Yes.
I wonder if he's still throwing the same set of rocks he started with. It's
Shot, Scott. Oh, boy. Scrub, buddy.
Fucking mint. Unless you like the slash. Okay. Mint. Yeah. Okay. Sliver more.
so he's going to try the slash double here.
And then throw in front.
Not too many options available here to get out of this end.
Try minimum.
But if a guy can make it, it's this guy.
Yeah, it's there certainly. It's no picnic, but
I think he's playing the hit and roll.
I think
isn't
so.
he?
Yeah, on
Come
his
across
first
the
one
face.
here, and then if they're not grouped, he'll try the slash or whatever double is there for him.
Hard to it.
Close. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Great shot.
That's pretty good right there.
Wow.
I'll stay. So. Oh, totally.
It's just such a tough roll to control that and to hit so little of it. And
Firm board.
And there again is another example of some maturity for a young skip there, because
oh yeah, he could have walked up and thrown that double. That would have been fine. But knowing that he can make this shot and make life really difficult, and knowing on his next one it's going to be simpler.
I think a firm board.
What a great shot though, just to come across the face with a flatter angle and.
This should come up.
well, a right-hander couldn't make that shot.
This is that one earlier.
Depends on the right hand.
Was talking to Glenn, talking about left-handed players, and told him, of course, he liked having left-handers. Of course, Richie Hart. He says, I like them better when they're on my team.
Yeah.
Close. Tim. No. Tim. Tim, you gotta go to stay. Easy. Clean. Yep, you gotta go. Easy. Clean. Shot.
Oh, where are you playing it? Play this.
So Colin made the double now will be taken on by Tyler Tardy.
Well, this double's a lot easier than the one shot
I
ago.
will say.
So.
Watch shooter roll it to center. Got nice. Probably doesn't move, eh? Probably looks good.
Tyler Tardy's last shot here in the sixth end.
Whoa! Yep!
It's pretty close.
Yeah, he wasn't concerned about sticking around there. The double was easier that way, so he knows that it's unlikely a blank attempt is going to be missed or bonked. So that's the right way to do it. Make your shot a little easier and give him the blank, move on.
Yeah, I know. Just try throwing like a boardish.
So here's an opportunity. I mean, there's not too much Glenn doesn't know about this ice already, being as master an ice reader as he is, but he'll never let a chance like this slip away either.
Oh, and why would you? It's
Yeah.
an opportunity to see something.
Real heavy, eh?
Just surprised that David Mathers is not cleaning this rock, because I've always said, as Paul Webster always said, the best cleaned rock in curling is the throw-through.
Yeah, it's what if it picked? Spins in for one.
We'd have a great story.
Yeah, that's right.
Are you sure about this handle? Because that's what the controversy is over there. I think they think the handles are in play. So, you think the handles are in play?
I think yes. I think they're in play, but the ones that they've been flashing might have been flashing before.
Yeah. Dave thought everything was out of play.
Do you guys want to talk about the handles?
Okay. Are they in play or not in play?
Last we heard from Tardy.
About to enter this 7th end, and our understanding, and we'll get some confirmation on this, but our understanding is that the red lights do not mean anything. The handles are still in experimental mode. They're just testing out the tech of these of the new technology, and the players are on the honor system. So we see that Team Howard and Team Tardy are going to have a discussion about that just to make sure everybody's on the same page.
This is a good move just to make sure, get ahead of any miscommunication there might be. Then both of these teams in this game will be able to move on with the peace of mind they're both on the same page.
So Team Howard does have hammer and a 3-2 lead going into the 7th end. As noted, Team Tardy from the Langley Curling Club with a 3-0 record. Team Howard at 1-1. So big game here in Pool B.
So we spoke about patience being important for Team Tardy. This is when you might see them actually push a little harder. They're going to run out of ends here if they don't start. And I think now's probably the time where they can take on a little more risk because they have to. If they let Team Howard get away with another blank, it's just another end they don't get to come back in. So I think if they're going to push, it's got to start now. Not that they weren't before, it's just they might have to take on more risk later in ends.
Just give you a look at the percentages as these players deliver their rocks. Jordan Tardy coming in at 92% for the night. Solid numbers for the lead. Run down the rest of that Tardy team. Jason Ginter at 79. Sterling Middleton at 75. Tyler Tardy at 92. Team Howard, lead Tim March at 92. David Mathers at 90. Scott Howard at 88. And Glenn Howard at 100.
Still.
100.
100.
Line's good. No, I don't think it is. Yeah, it's locked.
Line's real good.
Okay, we're probably top 4 right now.
Line's perfect.
Top 8 now.
Line's perfect.
Top 4.
Curl evenly. If it hasn't curled, it's good. It's running like it's heavy.
It's not heavy. It's not heavy. There you go.
Good throw, Tim.
Shot.
Buried behind the guard, and game on. Here we go.
Now that one goes just a hair deep. This is a little bit of a advantage here for Team Tardy. They can start the freeze game here a little closer to the button and really cut down that scoring zone for Team Howard.
Line's okay. Sterling. Gotta finish at time. We're right beside it.
That'll nestle in nicely.
Just didn't come up for him there, and that was the spot that we noticed that was curling a little more, so they potentially took a little more ice there, or it straightened out in that spot.
Okay, solid hack. Let's go, buddy.
Give you a quick update on all the other scores going on tonight. Team in men's play, Team Gunlickson from Morris, Manitoba, up 5-0 now on Team Hardy from Okotoks, Alberta. Team Tanner Horgan up 8-1 now on Team Karsten Sturmey. Team Horgan from Winnipeg, Team Sturmey from Edmonton, and big back and forth game going on in the Battle of Quebec. Team Fournier now up 5-4 on Team Roberge. And our game, of course, it is 3-2. Team Howard leading Team Tardy, Team Howard with last rock here in the 7th end.
So a nice shot made there to remove that freeze attempt by Team Tardy, and a nice shot there by Tim March. Now a hit and roll is going to be attempted by Jason Ginter to get back underneath.
One women's game we can tell you about, it is Team Krista McCarville, unbeaten at 3-0. Up 4-1 over Team Galusha, Team Carrie Galusha from Yellowknife. 4-1 lead for Team McCarville. They have Hammer playing in the 7th end.
Hard, Jordan. Gotta go.
So for the most part, I think it's fair to say Team Howard has held control most of the ends, particularly going into the last half of the ends as well.
Yeah, they've swung the ends in their favor at the 3rd position tonight. It's been the key the key point and the swing point in every single end. Even if the advantage was in Team Tardy's favor, by the time 3rd stones were over, it was shading more to the Howard side tonight. And then you have the guy coming in behind you playing 100%, so that's always helpful.
As we've mentioned, these skips have faced each other 4 times in their careers, and it is Team Howard with a 4-0 advantage in those head-to-head matchups. First one was in 2016 at the Grand Slam Tier 2 Challenge, the Tour Challenge. And they've met twice this year, with Team Howard prevailing 7-3 and 6-5 at a couple of World Curling Tour events. And that is a flash from Jason Ginter.
That's a tough one, because now Team Howard can come up and peel that guard, which might be the saving grace in
I don't hate it.
to get the force. It's the blank doesn't, as I mentioned earlier, the blank doesn't really play that well for Team Tardy. They're going to run out of time to catch up. They don't have the hammer. They're down by a point. They
7th end, we blank's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
You just don't want to cue it, and he gets one in there.
Then you peel. Then you're sitting 3 in there.
You like it?
You like that.
Like this is
Into this, boys. Keep the play away from the middle.
just harder to peel. Go here then. That's fine. No, you should make a call here. Do you want to get aggressive or not? That's the 2 things here.
You scored 2 here. It's pretty juicy.
Oh, I know. That's a blank.
Yeah. I like going. I like playing.
Let's go here then.
What do you see here, Jeff?
Well, Glenn made a good point. His first thing was to peel, and blanking is really good for Team Howard right now, just given that it eats up another end. They take the hammer going into the 8th end, which is an even end, and it's going to be better for them. It's 2 hammers to 1 at that point. But they're
I thought go to center.
it looks like they've settled on drawing. And the reason they're going to this side here is because there's going to be a peel at some point from Team Howard, and this side over here is easier to get rid of that rock. There's nothing in the way, whereas if this side, they might potentially run into that. So that's the thought process behind where this draw is going. And they've clearly decided to be more aggressive as opposed to conservative and just go away with the blank.
David Mathers playing his out turn. That is a counterclockwise rotation.
Looks like lots. Right here.
Sliding really well.
Can't go then, whatever. Just get him. That's good.
Shot, Dave.
That'll hang on at the back 12 foot.
Yeah, the further out of the way, that is the better in this instance. So. Now Team Tardy is going to try to use their opponent's stones to manufacture something. A little hit and roll under here using the top red stone as a bit of a guard. Wider area to roll behind.
Sterling Middleton
Whoa.
Only one sweeper right now. We'll get an update on Jordan Tardy. As you see Jason Ginter trying to get that one to move a little bit. Just a little outside, and you can see the frustration on Sterling Middleton's face as he just might have some delivery issues, might have some rock issues, or a combination of both.
Yeah, he's been trying to figure it out all game, and credit to him, he's had a couple undercurls and then he misses on the other side there. So it could be something he's trying to figure out, and at least he's not doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. So
the definition of insanity, as they say.
Yeah, if you're over curling a bunch, you always let's try an undercurl first, and then we'll see. So
now draw to the other side, and those three rocks are about as far apart from each other as you could get.
Well, and this is the call Tyler makes here is appropriate. It's time to go. You can't hit your way out of this anymore, so you might as well. He might be putting the game on the line here by starting to play the draw game, but I don't think he has much of a choice.
And a night full of struggles can sure be forgotten in a hurry if Sterling Middleton can make a great shot here. Put the pressure on Team Howard.
Yeah, it could be huge if he puts this one in the back four there, dead buried. It'll really provide some complication for Team Howard.
Yep, finish. Yep. Hard, gotta go.
And there it is. That's a shot that was called, and does leave, looks like a short raise attempt.
You hate it? Yellow? I was thinking red. Do that. Okay.
So the rock that's giving Team Howard complication is that guard that they didn't peel and put the other one in. And you could look back on them, they would have been a much simpler end. It likely would have led to a blank, but if Team Howard can execute their shots here for the rest, they might get a huge end and almost seal the game. So.
Whoa. Yep. Whoa. That's good.
Very nice throw by Scott Howard, who's having a solid night.
Yeah, it's a terrific shot there. He removed the stone and got his shooter out of the way. I don't think he had much of a choice on the roll there, but it's important that that's not sitting there for something for Team Tardy to use and freeze on.
Tyler Tardy now in the hack. First shot of the seventh end.
And unfortunately for Team Tardy, that Team Howard does have that accessible redstone at the top of the house. They can raise back. It's desperate times here for Team Tardy, and they're kind of needing a miss. And the next guy throwing is at 100%. So.
We can go line. Yep. Hard, Jordan.
Push, guys, come on.
Hard, line's real good.
Line's good.
Hard!
Where's it going?
Front end working hard. Jordan Tardy, Jason Ginter trying to get that as deep as they can.
Go.
Good drag there by that front end.
So a good shot.
I like board.
Unfortunately, it leaves about a 4-foot run back.
Just
As we said, we'll have 3 games tomorrow on Curling Canada's YouTube channel, produced by our friends at IKS Live. Noon Atlantic time, 4 p.m. Atlantic time, 8 p.m. Atlantic time, and I believe IKS Live will be on the scene in Canmore, Alberta, for the Canadian Mixed Curling Championship. I believe that begins on November 7th at the Canmore Golf and Curling Club. That's our next streaming coverage on Curling Canada's YouTube channel.
real close.
Whoa.
Close.
Yep. Hard!
So we saw this spot curl earlier.
Whoa! Yep, yes! Yes, you got it, go! Harder, go! Lean on it, come on!
No, wait. I throw it that late?
It's still pretty good, Glenn.
Oh, we're 4.
Yeah. It's sitting 4, but that's...
Gotta whip it. Loved it.
Yeah, I think that it jumped on them in the end, and the weight was down, but I think just hearing what Glenn said there, he threw what he thought was appropriate, and I think when it started to curl, it just took some of the weight off. And
I think that's a shot, though.
Still, it is a tough situation here for Tyler Tardy, and as you said, it's all or nothing now.
yeah, and it was when they decided to go in with the
Right.
draw. He knew that it was going to be all or nothing at that point, and it's a tough position to be in, but sometimes that works out for you when you have that all or nothing situation. You're just going for it. So
This is just super precise, right? Yeah. We got more wiggle room with the draw, though. Like, we can even be back here. Yeah, I think so.
Hear the discussion here, where
The
they
draw is the shot.
put this spot.
I think the in-off might come into the side here. I think we want to be like back button here. Side button. Yeah.
So they're discussing between the hit and roll and a draw, and I think it's dealer's choice. It's up to the guy throwing it, and
I think it's good here or back here is good too.
it seems like Tyler's got more margin when it comes to throwing the draw, so that's what he's going to go with it. And if you have to place a rock, your drawing's easier than hitting and rolling to get there. So I think this is probably the right thing to do. And again, it's whatever the thrower is comfortable with.
Ultimately, that's what it comes down to, isn't it?
Yeah, because he can get the rock there either way. It's just whichever one he's more likely to make, and that's going to be up to him.
Either way, it's scary.
Yeah.
Seems quite good, eh?
So with a look at it there, Glenn's shooter on the last rock actually rolled under a little further than it was before. So it's a bit less accessible, that red. So that's good news for Team Tardy, that exact same shot that was just thrown is no longer as there as it was one rock ago.
It's less there-ish.
Less there-ish.
Yeah, yeah.
Looks heavy. Line's good. Yep.
Tyler Tardy's last rock of the 7th end.
Line's good. Jeez. Yep. Hard.
Just about as good as he could make it, I think. We do have our first final, Jeff. Tanner Horgan stealing 4 in the 7th end, and the teams do wrap it up as Team Karsten Sturmey concedes defeat. It is a 12-1 win for Team Tanner Horgan. They improved to 4-0. Team Sturmey dropping now to 1-3.
I thought I was throwing board, but I wasn't, so I got to give you more.
So he's playing the same shot he just threw. I think it's just a hair more difficult, and we did see it curl up here. So this is obviously still there, and he just threw it. So you got to think this one's for the game, hey?
Yeah. We'll correct Team Sturmey's record. They're at 1-2 now. Team Horgan at 4-0. Last shot, Glenn Howard in this 7th end.
Close. Yep. Whoa. Yes. Whoa. Dave. Go, Dave. Jeez.
Well, big sigh of relief, I think, for Tyler Tardy. It's only going to be a single point for Team Glenn Howard.
Yeah, they can exhale now. That great shot by Tyler there, just to put that in that position. And Glenn said it in the hack. He's going to give them a little more, so it didn't see the exact same amount of finish that they saw in the one before, because he threw it just a little harder, and that made the rock track just that little bit straighter. Incredibly hard shot there, but hit enough of it to get his one. And
so it is still a game as Team Tyler Tardy just down 2, and now they will have hammer here in this 8th end.
You know, you got to be impressed with Tyler Tardy right now. It's the tap that he made for the 1 in the 2nd end, and then that hit and roll that he made against the deuce in the 6th end. Like, just impressive shots. And then obviously that draw in the last end. It's just keeping his team in it, and that's what the good skips do. They keep the team in it no matter what.
And you know, having watched Tyler Tardy at those junior events for so many years, that's the thing that strikes one after watching him for so many years, is not much phases him ever.
He's pretty even keel. He's got the perfect attitude to be an elite curler. He can turn it on, and it's not that he's not competitive. He's just not showing you that when he's on the ice.
It's really good.
So this is an interesting thing when we talk about momentum right now. Because Team Howard has a 2-up lead right now. They're in a great spot, really good spot. But the momentum seems to be with Team Tardy right now because they kind of got away with one in the last end. And if you're Team Howard, you might be slightly upset that the game's not over right now. So we'll see how this plays out.
And you got breaking news, by the way. Glenn Howard no longer at 100. He's at 95. But Tyler Tardy at 93, and that's just, you love to see 2 skips shooting the lights out like that.
Yeah, it's incredible. And the shot making's, like, none of it's been super easy. It's been, the level of difficulty's been there. And for both skips, I mean, it's not easy to play perfect, and they're both doing it almost.
And like you say, if Team Tardy can get a deuce in this end, tied up after 8, get a force and a deuce, and suddenly this game is completely turned on its head. But there was a chance there for Glenn Howard. Will he regret not taking advantage of it? We'll have 3 ends to find out.
Yeah, it's a tall order. Deuce, force, deuce to come in. Yeah, sure, you win the game. It's a lot to ask when the team you're playing is playing at the level Glenn Howard's team is.
Got a curl.
But it's not like they have to do something improbable or impossible to get there. So
I don't know. It's got half it. Split. You got to split it. Yeah, go, Dave. Go. Go. Okay. You just no wings. Yeah.
I think we're probably here.
Another corner guard is the call for Jordan Tardy.
Try to even this one up with the other one.
Line's good.
Jeff, you're in town. Obviously, we saw Elaine Dagg-Jackson, our women's national coach and program manager, arrive, and I believe Jeff Stoughton, our men's national coach, will be arriving in the next day or 2 to watch these teams in action. And I guess as a high-performance coaching staff, there will be plenty of discussions about this event and also the rest of the season.
Yeah, it's fantastic to just sit with I mean, that level of knowledge, and it's good for me. I learn a lot when I'm in those situations. So looking forward to watching a lot of curling, and Helen Radford will be here as well.
That's right.
And just to sit with those types of people and watch curling is, I mean, I can't help but learn the entire time.
Easy.
Helen Radford, obviously, she oversees our youth program, Next Gen Development Program for Curling Canada, and her eyes will be on Saskatoon as well. Running concurrently with those Tim Hortons curling trials will be the Canadian World Championship Selection Event, an event to select a Canadian team that goes to the World Juniors in Sweden, a team that you will be accompanying, Jeff. You and Laurie Olsen will go to Sweden with the teams that come out of Saskatoon. It's not the Canadian Junior Championship, but because the pandemic forced the cancellation of the Canadian Juniors last year, there had to be an event to select the Canadian teams that go to the World Juniors this year. So all 14 member associations, I believe, are sending teams to Saskatoon. That event will run at the Granite Club in Saskatoon the same week as the trials, November 20th to 28th week. And a men's and women's team will come out of that and get the chance to wear the maple leaf in Sweden in February.
Yeah, it's always exciting to see who's going to be the next Team Canada, and often in juniors it's somebody different all the time. So it's a new thrill for them the first time they get to see their gear or realize, you know, their dream that they've likely had since they started curling of wearing the maple leaf. It's just so exciting, such a fun thing to be a part of.
So now the run back will be taken on by David Mathers.
Whoa. Yep. Whoa. 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 Yep. John,
Real nice throw.
Good shot, Dave.
Still a couple corner guards to work with, though.
Yeah, there's lots of rocks in play, and that's good for Team Tardy. They'll have stuff to work with here. They're gonna throw everything at them to try to generate that multiple score here.
Jason Ginter, a product of that great U of A program helmed by Rob Krebs.
Yep.
Golden Bears have produced a lot of top-notch colors, notably, of course, Tim Hortons Brier champion Brendan Botcher. Team Botcher, of course, and his team, Team Canada, will be representing us in the America Zone Challenge. That begins Friday night at the Lacombe Curling Club in Lacombe, Alberta. They'll be playing teams from Mexico and Brazil in a double round robin. The team with the best record at the end of it will clinch a berth for their country in the World Men's Championship in Las Vegas in April. So go Canada, go. It'll be Team Botcher playing in Lacombe this weekend. And you can get tickets at the Lacombe Curling Club website for that event, the America Zone Challenge, beginning Friday.
Whoa, it's gotta curl, it's gotta curl.
Whoa! Whoa! Dave!
Right to it, right to it. Keep going, keep going.
Yep. That's even better.
Yeah, it's in a great spot right there. It's in the way from any type of drawing Team Tardy might want to do, and forced to play a more difficult shot, which is the hit and roll here. It's certainly there, just a little tougher.
Sterling Middleton now in the hack. 8th end, 4-2. Team Glenn Howard from Penetanguishene, Ontario, taking on Team Tyler Tardy from Langley, British Columbia.
Speed. Whoa. Whoa. Jay.
Trying to get some movement on this.
He's working it.
Will it stay in the rings? Will it get the red rock off the rings? No and no. So it is Team Howard sitting a couple, and now they will get one, try to get one behind that center guard.
Yeah.
Scott Howard about to deliver.
Well, and at this point, there's no reason why you wouldn't try to apply some pressure, and it's third's last. It's a good opportunity here. Obviously, the house sets up really well for Team Howard, so they're going to try to go for the throat here, I think.
Room. Really got it curled.
Yeah, easy. Yeah, Tim. Oh, I don't want that.
Okay, you're by.
Okay.
No, never day.
No.
Tim, you can go. You
Gotta
can go
curl.
if you want. No,
Higher the better.
No.
I know you do, buddy.
Holding him back.
Couple of racehorses
Yeah.
trying to break from the gates there, and jockey's trying to keep him under control. You see Ricky Lang in the background laughing because he knew what was going on too. So Tyler wants to have the chat with Sterling about their next call.
Well, and Tyler knows he has to score. He can't leave that rock where it is. He can't try to play any type of a freeze and wait till later. It's just a little late in the end. So playing something where he removes the stone that was just thrown is probably option A.
Maybe you can roll in. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, if we can open this up, we're not looking.
So they're talking about coming down and hitting this stone, which will go into this one, and then their shooter will end up somewhere in this area here, which will potentially be behind cover. So it's one of those sort of 2-for-1s where they'll make the double and then leave their rock in a favorable position. I think what has to happen here, though, is that rock needs to be moved from the top of the button. That the scoring zone needs to be bigger than it is right now for Team Tardy to score or potentially get a skips deuce after this.
Lead. Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Yes. Hard. Gotta go. Yep. Yep. Yes. Good shot.
That's a nice outcome for Sterling Middleton.
They might have changed the call on us, Al, where they wanted to roll the other way there, because that looked pretty like they were managing it for that, which is fine. It might get them into trouble leaving that rock where it is, because they can get in the way again, and Team Tardy might not have another chance at it. Excellent shot there by Sterling, nonetheless.
I think so.
But it is still Team Howard sitting 2 with rock in hand, and Glenn Howard about to throw his first shot of this 8th end.
Yeah, and as good of a shot as that was for Sterling there, it's still 3rd shot, and their opposition's throwing. So
Couple feet.
if Glenn can execute a nice draw here, it's going to be just as in trouble as you were before for Team Tardy.
Obviously, light's not awful, I don't think. You know, so. Yeah.
Okay, you can hit it, Tim. You can hit it. Keep going. Really tight.
It's really curling, Tim. Really curling.
Is that going to be on the guard?
Whoa.
Yep,
Well, Tim's doing everything he can.
The guard, boys. You gotta chunk the guard. Really gotta chunk the guard.
No, pulled the string on that one.
Yeah, rare mistake from Glenn Howard.
I don't think he's even had a half shot miss, really. That was the first outright miss we've seen out of him all night.
Yeah, and it was right out of his hand. They were calling tight, and he might just got a little tight in a fresh path, or been maybe slightly soft when he let it go. But I believe this red rock is pretty well buried, so they're going to have to play something lighter to get it to come up at the end in order to.
I thought before Glenn's shot they could see maybe a quarter of it. Now, a skinny 1/8, as they say. Maybe.
Yeah, we have seen some curls.
There you go. There's a good angle of it. Boy, a skinny 1/8 might be generous.
Yeah, that's got to curl past, and it will. It'll curl past those guards, and if he hits it on the right angle, he might have a catcher off to the side. But I don't know that he can throw enough weight to even roll that far. This is a tough shot. Made slightly tougher by the fact that Tyler's coming from the other hack as well.
The curse of the left-hander.
Yeah, it works when it's on the other side for him, though.
Close. Yep. Hard.
Working to get this by the top guard. That's Jason Ginter. Will it get by? Oh, just a rub.
Sorry, guys.
But a tiny bit of a break there. They get the jam, and they're sitting 2nd, possibly 3rd. But it is still Howard with shot stone.
Yeah, we heard the apology there from Tyler Tardy on the.
Could line it up.
Didn't mean that, but it worked out for us, and
It's only for 2.
classy move.
I think you gotta go. All right.
But boy, that was close. It was moving for sure.
Right there.
Yeah, if they would have got by, they would have been just fine there. But You know that when you're throwing that type of shot, you have to play it so tight to the guard that it's always going to be a possibility.
Yeah, I think if I threw it clean, it would have gone another 6 feet. I got to give you a little more, but again, I'm just so.
But you can see where Tyler's rock moving, touching that guard, it definitely exposed more of that shot stone. So
yeah, it did, and they're coming in the house again here, so it's a move to put the pressure on. I like the call. He knows how to make this shot. He took ownership of his last throw and knows how he needs to get there.
Got it, curl. Line's okay. Yep. Whoa.
Curling
Line's
now.
good. Yep. Whoa. 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 Right here, boys. Whoa. 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 Yep. Whoa. 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 Whoa.
Good shot.
Shot.
That is super slow.
Yeah, you whipped that.
I whipped that.
all right, what do we got here?
I think it's kind of cute.
Okay.
Throw it hard. I think dead nose.
A little drag effect
think you gotta throw it hard to get
coming
that
in here
six
too.
down.
Yeah, I think it might be kind of loaded for him, where he can hit it, it'll go straight back, make that double. It's for 2 points if he can execute it. So
you're saying his rub on the first was intentional to set this up?
he's that good. Yeah.
Yeah. That's just good skipping right there.
He called that very thin double off the top guards to that back red.
A lot of skips wouldn't play it that way, but.
Yeah.
So here it is, Tyler Tardy, last shot of this 8th end, trailing by 2. Team Howard sitting 2.
Well, he whipped it.
He whipped it.
Hard! Hard!
Oh, just jammed it, and it will be a steal of 1 for Team Howard, but it was fun to watch.
Yeah, that one was flying down the sheet. I think he thought it was queued up where it would go back no matter what, and hit it pretty well right on the nose, or 15th, 16th on the low side, but nice try, and he had to go for it. That this point in the game.
So it will be a 3-point lead now for Team Howard after 8 ends. Team Tardy will have hammer in the 9th end. Looking to preserve its unbeaten record, 3-0 coming in. Team Howard at 1-1. Top 3 teams in each pool will go into the playoffs that begin Saturday. TSN will be on the air with coverage Saturday and Sunday from here at Queen's Place, Amera Center in Liverpool, Nova Scotia. Nice to hear. We got an email from Ruby Olson saying she's enjoying the commentary. Hi to Ruby and Randy out there in Alberta.
Well, hello to Ruby and Randy.
Hasn't curled. Hasn't curled at all.
2 big supporters of curling over the years in Alberta. Done a lot for curling, and of course the parents of Lori Olson.
Good throw, Tim.
Hard to find nicer people than the Olsons, eh?
Very, very true.
I didn't think you threw that.
So, Team Tardy in must-score territory, and by score I mean at least 2. It's a 4-2 lead now, or a 5-2 lead for Team Howard playing this 9th end.
We'll see a lot of rocks in play here by Team Tardy, I think, and you know, as we've noticed even in this competition or any of the competitions in the last 4 years since the adoption of the 5-rock rule across the board, that 3s happen way more often, and it's something that you don't have to get a bunch of misses to get it. You can execute it with strategy, given that you get your 2 corner guards, and if you get it up there and execute, it's in play. So we'll see how Team Tardy tries to develop their big end here.
Liz.
Double corners on the same side.
I think that was the call, yeah. Got to try something different. Obviously, what had been working was what they've been trying before. It clearly wasn't working.
Well, and this way just makes the double peel just a little tougher,
Yep.
and potential jams. And
we do have another final to report on Sheet A in men's play. It's Team Jason Gunlickson out of Morris, Manitoba, improving to 4-0 as they pitch the shutout. 8-0 over Team Jeremy Hardy from Okotoks, Alberta, and playing out of the Glencoe Club in Calgary. 8-0 win for Team Jason Gunlickson as they improve to 4-0.
Yeah, my rocks are straight, though. Definitely way tighter to Tim. Way tighter to Tim.
I keep saying Okotoks. They used to play out of Okotoks. I don't believe they're playing there. They are playing out of the Glencoe in Calgary. Coached by Shannon Kleibrink. That's Vice Skip Kyler Kleibrink's mom, and of course she was an Olympian for us at 2006, winning a bronze medal in Torino, Italy.
yeah, moved into it and is embracing the coaching role with that squad. I think she adds a lot for those guys. They are an awesome team to work with. I've had the pleasure to actually spend some time with them, and they're just super nice guys and really coachable. So I think that's a good fit.
They've been working very hard these last couple of years to move up the ranks in Alberta curling, but tough with those twin towers of Brendan Botcher and Kevin Cooey on top of the scene. Our game, still a 3-point lead, and Team Howard sitting 3 in the rings in this ninth end, and just a freeze into the pile, I think, was the call, but looks like it's going to over-curl just a bit.
Yeah, I think Jason was trying to rearrange the furniture there a little bit and just tap and create some type of a wall at the back. And unfortunately, it just curled a little too much.
Normal. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, 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 yep, whoa, yep, whoa, yep, whoa, yep, yep, whoa, 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 I don't want to cue it. Good. Shot.
Sitting 4.
Okay. That,
Shoot, kid.
Well, it's, yeah, you got to remove some of these now, or at least get them out of the way. It's pretty tough to score right now, so I'll ask Jason to, I think, just make a double and sit on top so you're still on, there's something behind you. I think that was the call. Well,
Just off the rings. Team Howard still sitting a couple, and I think they'll start chasing those guards now.
yeah, there's really no great spot to put it in the house, and no real reason to stuff another one in there. So they might as well get rid of one of these guards.
Clean, whoa, clean. Throw, Scott.
shooting, boys.
Good shooting indeed.
Good, good, good.
Right here.
So using the hit and roll to get behind cover here. They want to move this rock off the center line and use their corner guard.
Sterling Middleton now.
Whoa.
Deuce is still in play with that corner guard, unquestionably, but they're going to need a make,
Whoa. Whoa. Good.
few makes, and a miss or two out of Team Howard, I think.
Hard, Jordan. Yep.
Well, this one will go a long ways here if it can get under cover. I think it might be poking out a little bit still. It's
Pretty good.
yeah, it is. You can see enough of it to remove it for sure, but it does remove that rock from the center line, which was definitely in Team Howard's favor.
I
So
figured you throw it fairly solid. In case you ticket.
Yep.
Like normal?
I was thinking
Hanging
solid
around's
board.
not a big deal.
I know.
Well, what do you like?
I was thinking solid board, but whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a call. They will chase that rock in the rings. Scott Howard having a great night.
Yep. Whoa. Yep.
90%.
Whoa. Yep. Yes. Hard. Gotta go, Tim. You gotta go, Tim. You gotta go, Tim. No.
And it will go off the guard, but
Man, does that curl.
that's an example of knowing which way to miss, too, isn't it? That's an example of it.
Oh, absolutely. And they talked about it. They said you need to throw it hard enough that if you do clip the guard, you're at least removing it. You'd hate to throw hack or something on that and just wick the guard and not move it out of play and still allow Team Tardy to use it. So tolerance was to clip the guard there, and would they have liked to make it? Absolutely. But that still plays. Team Tardy's going to have to uphold the 2 points in the house at this point, and
Hard! Gotta go straight to it.
Trying to hold this on line. They'd like to not curl. Got the job done there.
That's a hit. Yeah, I think so. Normal? Sure.
Glenn Howard now about to throw his first rock of this ninth end. Double definitely not in the mix on this, so it's just make the open hit. On the shot stone.
yeah, he'll want to roll towards the other yellow just to group them a little bit and hopefully have a double on his next one.
Real close.
No.
Whoa.
No. Dave, you can go. Dave, go. Oh, you're rolling the other way.
Just on the nose. Kind of, that was weird. Kind of. Not going to be there, is it?
Nose hit. Now Sterling will hold the broom for his skip, Tyler Tardy.
It's not going to be there, is it? No.
It will be one rock higher, but I think Glenn said it best. It's not going to be there. Even if this is nosed, it's going to be still too flat.
I don't think he's even there for Kevin Cooey.
No, if it's not there for him, it's not there. So.
Hard.
Got to make sure this one doesn't roll closer to their other yellow, though, and
Clean.
I think the boys have done a good job holding it.
Same close.
Just is so straight. This one you roll, you got a lot of the 8 foot to work with. This you only have
like
just
this.
here.
I'll be firm again. Like this. I'll be solid normal.
I think you like here.
Seems
That's
like
good.
sound logic there from
I
the
think
Howard
that's
team.
nose. Okay.
It's kind of cool seeing them work together in the house. I mean, something we haven't seen before either.
That was
Father and
solid normal
son
last one, or was it?
playing together at this high a level, and obviously their communication is just terrific.
Well, they've had lots of practice, I'm
That's
sure.
right.
Yeah.
Certainly one of the big motivating factors for Glenn still playing and playing at a high level and working at it is the chance to succeed with his son.
Oh, I'm sure it's a blast for them. They
Really hard. Harder, Dave. Harder. Close. Sit.
Will that stay in the rings?
well,
I don't think so. So it will be
Well,
a
it's
draw
saving
for
foul.
2 for Tyler Tardy. Chance to get their first deuce of the game.
well, bring themselves within one. They're hanging around. They're very much still in it.
Same as in 7.
Touch paint for a deuce. Boys are keeping it clean. Getting a good look at those handsome brown curling shoes sported by Jordan Tardy. Bit of a fashion risk for some, but not for him.
Hang him up, 2 points.
So on we go to the 10th end. Team Howard with a 1-point lead and last rock going into the 10th end, but there is a 10th end. That's the key thing from Team Tardy's perspective, because it wasn't looking all that promising a couple ends ago.
Well, and down 1 without the hammer in the last end, your odds aren't great. But they're not 100% against you, so you still got a fighting chance, and you know you can get a steal here and go to the extra, or who knows what can happen. I mean, it's a crazy game, but the fact that they've hung around like this and really just kept it going and stayed the course and hanging on by the skin of their teeth at certain points, but they're still here and they got an end to play. So,
well, you still look back to that 7th end when Glenn had a shot at 4
or more,
yeah, and you wonder if that's going to come back to haunt them, because this game, by all rights, probably should have been over if he makes that shot. But here they are, Team Tardy just 1 down in the 10th end. Another final to report over on sheet E. Battle of Quebec. It is Team Mike Fournier coming up with a 9-5 win over Team Vincent Roberge. It leaves Team Fournier with a 2-2 record. Still alive in that playoff hunt. Vincent Roberge drops to 0-3. And probably needing to win out to have a chance. There are no tiebreakers to make the playoffs. It will be head-to-head record that will decide playoff spots if there are ties. And if there's more than 3 teams, it'll go to last shot draw advantage in the pregame draws.
Shot, Timmer.
So a little tick there. Puts the Tardy stone into the rings and gets the guard off center.
Yeah, well done there by Tim. Move it off the center line, and now you see Team Tardy is going to actually stack the guards up on top of each other off the center line. I think they're aware that if they put this on the center line, it's going to make that double peel a little easier, so they might as well line them up, and it's a red stone that's out there, so you might even see Team Howard come up and peel their own out just to keep it clean. So
Never curl.
See the red.
The double's there.
Yeah.
What are you throwing? You like this, eh? Peel it.
They can peel their own stone.
well, that was the success of that tick shot is it bumped the opponent's stone in the house, leaving that able to remove, and theirs in the free guard zone, which they can get rid of.
I can't see an awful lot of
mind
it. I think they'll just play at the
peeling it out, eh?
Yeah.
stone in the house.
Well, I think this is smart. If they ever whipped that top guard and removed that, it would just go back to how it was. And this is a pretty makeable shot, and you can hit it, and it's going to give you an advantage. So.
Whoa! No. Oh man, nothing.
And a flash from Tim March. So, Tyler Tardy having a chance to get one into the rings and sit a couple. And more importantly, this shot from Jason Ginter has a chance to be buried behind a couple of guards.
Early line.
Yeah, and I think the goal going into this end, if your Team Tardy, was to have Team Howard looking at 2 in the end, and then looking against potentially the loss. So this is a pretty good situation for Team Tardy. I realize that those guards aren't on the center line, and they're not going to be able to put one on the button buried, but
That's good. Nice shot.
pretty good situation.
Good shot.
Good throw.
You gotta do the centers.
Try and get this one?
Yep.
So is this a straight peel, or are they playing for the double peel here?
I think they're playing for the double. I think that's what he meant when he said trying to get this one. And they might leave one up top there, but if they can remove both of these.
Good shot, Davey.
Get out of
boy.
there.
Good.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Shot.
So it is Team Tardy sitting 2. They'll try and replace a guard.
Good shot, Davey.
Get up.
Good throw by David Mathers, as you see. Rock placement's so crucial now for these guards.
Yeah, they can't group them to make the double peel easy, and they can't really over curl it either, because it'll leave the rock in the house exposed, and got to go on this one to not leave that double peel easy.
Triple sweepers. Always love to see that.
Oh yeah.
You got to peel the yellow, don't you? Well,
Yeah. Yeah.
how thin's the double? Pretty thin, eh?
Yeah, very thin. You got that one.
Have to peel this one, boys.
David Mathers will be asked to remove that yellow guard just thrown by Jason Ginter.
Yep. Hard. Hard, Tim. Really hard. Hard, Tim.
Oh, it might knock it in. Oh, for God's sakes.
That's fine. That doesn't matter.
So, Team Tardy sitting 3, and yeah, those are on the 12-foot circle, and as much as Scott says it doesn't matter, I mean, that's just a little more pressure.
Well, it's another stone that could count later with a mistake.
Yep.
I know that they're not planning on making a mistake, but it's something that could be really detrimental if a mistake is made. You'd rather just have one rock in the house that you don't have to worry about the loss if you do, and then you still have the extra. So.
Sterling Middleton now. Another guard, I believe, is the call. As much separation as possible between the long red guard and this throw is the desired outcome for Team Tardy.
Get it 2.
Gotta go here.
Yep. Okay, very good, very good, very good. A shot.
You're like, yellow?
Sure.
The double's there, and it's not super difficult, but I think the more dangerous rock is definitely the yellow. So you might as well just make it easy on yourself. Walk up and peel that one.
Yep. Just clean, just clean, just clean. Yep. Yep. Hard, 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 hard.
Okay.
He tried to make it really thin there, and might as well. Once you know you're on it, you might as well try to make something else.
Closer than I thought.
Early. Early.
Same shot again here. They're getting good at this.
Line's okay. Line's good. Gotta sit. Good shot.
Yeah, well done. Well placed there by Sterling.
Nice shot.
Same spot, eh?
It's a hair really close. The same shot because it's lower, real close.
Scott Howard now.
Yep.
You're going to try to eliminate some of that insurance over there, or those.
Hard. Gotta go, 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 Tim, go, 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 go.
Can't quite get rid of those.
So we're getting later in this end.
Yeah, you might want to move this one closer to the house, or a little closer to the center line. It's sort of looking like Glenn's going to have a draw on his last one in a path that he commented on how slow it was in the 8th end. So he's thrown that in turn draw. So he knows it, but I think Tyler throwing it in the house here is a smart call. He'll shrink the scoring zone just a little bit.
Tyler shooting 90% coming into this 10th end.
That's fine. That's fine.
Which is a great game, except for the guy he's playing, Glenn Howard, shooting 96.
Those are incredible numbers for skips. It's just super good.
Top 8 was the call.
And I think they want to shade this on the center line side just a little bit, or they're going to cover their own, and that's okay. It's just the only goal here is to have 2 that are really close to the same distance from the pin, and really shrink that scoring zone. So when Glenn Howard has to make the draw for the win, if he doesn't make it, it's against the loss.
No line, no line. Pretty good.
So I think they would have liked that a little closer to the 4 foot, but no matter.
Yeah, edge of 4. Right there, boys.
So is the freeze the call here?
It looks as where he indicated. So I think this is more of just a rangefinder for Glenn. I think he wants to throw this path just to see.
So how much?
I like that expression. I'm putting that in my arsenal.
Not as close as I like this to draw it, do you think? A little less.
Like, he has certain notions in his mind about this path, and he articulated that in the 8th end after he threw it. That's slow, he said. So we'll see, like, if that comes into how he goes about making this shot. This is a different path that he threw in that end, but
room right now. Looks heavy from here.
It doesn't look light.
Yeah, 13-3, that's heavy.
You hear them talking about it. That's going to go to the back 12.
Well, it's better now than on his last one for that to happen. So
he's got the range now, I would think.
And yeah, and like I mentioned, he was thinking how heavy that path was. So you know, sometimes that gets in your mind, and then you throw it a little harder than you would have otherwise because you're just thinking about the one before. So
the Team Tardy will call a timeout and talk about where to put this rock.
And I think they have to put this in a spot that makes Glenn's draw tougher.
Forces him on a different path.
Yeah, it's just something where he shrinks the scoring zone maybe a little more and potentially makes him guess a little bit where it is.
Guard. We can probably come this way. This way to come like here, right? I think we go here. Honestly, I'm kind of like it. Well, he's just got the same shot, right?
Few options here.
Yeah, and that's not what they don't want to give him the exact same shot that he just threw. I think it's as they know, someone of Glenn Howard's caliber is likely not to miss twice. So if they just split the center line there, where kind of Tyler's indicating, it does put him on a different path and make the draw slightly harder. And so I believe I'd either guard or go somewhere in here. So we'll see what they elect to
you gotta play this way then.
to do to put him on a different path.
I think they're discussing which turn to throw too now.
So it looks like they've elected to play the guard because I don't think they can come into the house with Tyler's intern.
Like he avoided this drop path earlier in the game, right? I don't want to throw it.
Well, you always have to think as a skip, what do you want to leave your opponent? And if he says he doesn't want to throw it, then there's probably something to
That's
that.
probably fine. Like this is a sketchy path if you're tight, right?
I've just seen that spot curl so much with that intern off center line. So
Just one other game on the ice now. It is a women's game between Team Krista McCarville and Team Carrie Galusha. It is a 6-3 lead for Team McCarville in the 10th end, with Team Galusha having last rock.
So about a halfway guard here on the center line seems to be what they're going for. It's not light.
Never curl, never curl. Sit.
Well, I think it does the trick. Unassisted there. Took that one by himself.
Listen, Jason and Jordan had a tough night.
Yeah.
Give them a break, give them a rest.
Take this one off, fellas.
That
It's whichever path now that Glenn wants to throw here.
That's what I tried to do in the last one, though. Yeah, like I thought I threw the same on that than I did that other one, and it ended up right there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So to me, this is mission accomplished from Team Tardy, that they're having to discuss it this much. I believe that as a skip, Glenn would have figured which draw he wanted to throw or how he wanted this to play out and had it in his mind, and that's now changed. So
I guess
full marks to Team Tardy for talking that out and deciding on something that would maybe put a little seed of doubt in their opposition's mind.
It's interesting. Jason Ginter's draw just behind the tee line stayed there from when he threw it, and now is the shot stone.
I'm going to this one. Pretty solid, like almost hack.
So they believe they can go through that hole on the clockwise rotation intern side.
Put it right here?
No, I think it's too hard.
And that says a lot. Yep. If someone of Glenn Howard's caliber says that he doesn't, that's too hard, then I think the right decision was made here. And this is the spot that Tyler said he didn't want to throw. Is here because the way that comes up and curls it.
Gonna take more? A little more, Scott.
Team Tardy sitting 3. Glenn's got to hold the shooter. Last shot, Glenn Howard, 10th end.
Close. Close.
Whoa, whoa.
Close, close. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Whoa.
Dave!
Dave!
Clean! Clean! Clean!
Clean! Yep! Yep!
Yes!
Attaboy.
Glenn Howard with the tap for the win. It will be a 6-4 win for Team Glenn Howard. They will improve to 2-1. That is the first loss for Team Tyler Tardy. They dropped to 3-1. A reminder, we'll be back on the air tomorrow for Queen's Place Amera Center here in Liverpool. Games at noon, 4 p.m., 8 p.m. Atlantic time, right here on Curling Canada's YouTube channel. For color commentator Jeff Hoppert, I'm Al Cameron wishing you good night from Liverpool.